Hi, Glidus!
Hello.
Welcome to Dragon Time. This is the show where we talk about House of the Dragon in great detail.
Today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 2, because that just came out.
Rhaenyra took King's Landing.
She's killed Otto Hightower.
Aemond took Harrenhal.
Rhaena is a stateless individual.
Rhaena sought asylum at Jane Arryn's pad and was rebuffed and has to live in her backyard instead.
Jace is dead, but Corlys made it out somehow.
Corlys survived. No update on Thailand.
Yes, all new Thailand heads. Keep posted. We still have no idea.
We're going to talk about each scene, and it's going to be a great time. If you watch on Nebula, you get the early extended version right after each episode airs.
They also get access to the talk we did about the Weeks Ahead trailer.
Yeah, we had an extra little conversation speculating about the future of this season based on some new trailers. So if you want to see all that exclusive stuff, sign up at Nebula. It helps support us, and we appreciate it.
Dragon time, talk about the lizards, breathing fire in the sky.
They've changed the opening sequence.
They have added a few more things to the tapestry. The embroiderers have figured out how to add Sharako Loha to the tapestry.
Sharako Loha.
And she's doing a big jump at Corlys.
There's a very funny acrobatic leap being performed on the tapestry. The tapestrists have done a great job on this one, capturing Sharako and Corlys's likeness. They've got Corlys wielding his two-handed halberd spear thing in the tapestry, but he didn't wield his two-handed weapon in that battle. He only wielded that in Season 1.
This is the opening credit sequence alluding to the concept of, historians depicting things not precisely as they were.
No, I like how Sharako was weird to the last. Because, last episode, Sharako was a lot more, business mode than what we saw in Season 2. But I like how they preserved some of her quirkiness.
We also see Jace dead. Jace is dead. This episode's written by Sarah Hess and directed by Claire Kilner. That duo was last seen in Rhaenyra the Cruel, Season 2, Episode 2, which we loved.
It's one of my favorite Westeros episodes in any show. So, the opening scene shows a bit of the aftermath of the Battle of the Gullet.
The cleanup, as it were.
The Valerions and the dragons defeated the Triarchy, and Sharako and Jace died. We have Vermithor and Silverwing, and also Seasmoke.
So that's Moondancer at the front there, but I think Seasmoke is around here. Or maybe Adam just shows up later to look for Corlys.
Yeah, well, we see some of the dragon seeds, burning up some of the remaining pirates.
What if Ulf and Hugh had shown up earlier, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, Alice told Ulf and Hugh to, go and help Rhaenyra at the Gullet. It seems like it must be a near thing, because they have arrived here and they are killing pirates. It's just after the bulk of the battle was done.
Yeah.
If only Alice and Del the goat had gotten there sooner.
I just want to point out that these opening shots are just gorgeous. They're immaculate. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
The opening shot with below the water with the floating bodies, and then the transition to the aerial shot, just outrageously great stuff.
Yeah, specifically the shot with the fire when you're looking up from below the water and seeing the fire above. It's stunningly beautiful. The combination of real camera work plus CGI visual effects. I can't begin to imagine how they do this on a technical level, but I feel like it's very impressive and it feels very real. And the music as well is so important.
Oh,
obviously.
Jawadi.
Yeah, Jawadi continues to kill it with this beautiful mournful music over this victory. And so that's a very strong theme or feeling throughout this episode, is that we won the war, but it feels like a loss because of Jace's death.
At what cost? At what stupid, immense cost? Yeah, so Baela weeps as she flies over the gullet, and you can hear Moondancer crying as well. Is Moondancer weeping for Jace or for Vermax?
Yeah.
Or both?
So then we see Jace being carried off the dragon by the Dragon Keepers.
The Dragon Keepers did en masse abandon Rhaenyra in Season 2, Episode 7.
Yeah, so I got the impression that the Dragon Keepers, quit Rhaenyra. But But I suppose they're still on Dragonstone, and maybe they are now helping again.
Yeah, I guess, like, where would they go? But it is weird that was a plot point, and now it seems to not have any effect.
And so I would like to see some acknowledgement of, like, what is the role of the Dragon Keepers now? Are the Dragon Keepers helping Ulf and Hugh and Adam learn to train their dragons? I feel like that's important.
Yeah, Rhaenyra said in season 2, episode 8 that Adam, Ulf, and Hugh would have dragon riding lessons, but, like, from who? The Dragon Keepers abandoned her, but apparently they didn't, because here they are.
The more I think about it, I think it's cowardly for Rhaena to not be here. Like, it's definitely dishonorable for Rhaena to not be here. Like, Rhaena was brave enough to claim Sheepstealer, but Rhaena's not brave enough to face Rhaenyra and tell her that Jace is dead. Like, Rhaena might have, like, distracted Jace and caused him to be hit by the grapnel, but it was always possible that Vermax was going to be killed regardless.
That is true, but, like, you know, Jace put himself there, but Tyland put the Triarchy there, and he did that because Aemond told him to. So ultimately, it's Jace and Aemond's fault.
Well, it's a war. People die in a war. If Rhaena was here saying, hey, like, this happened, I didn't control my dragon properly, please train me so I'm ready for next time, I apologize for not looking after Aegon and Viserys. I think Rhaena would be way better off than what she's currently doing. It looks really guilty that she's, like, fled the scene. So I think Rhaena's really fucked up this episode.
Yeah. I believe that's the impression we're supposed to get, yes.
Yeah. Larry Marbles is still alive.
Yeah, for now. I think we won't be seeing him again.
I really like how, like, Laurent, in his mind, like, he is the hero of his own story. Yep. He thinks this is about him, but it's not. And they say the same thing about Daemon this episode, when Mysaria says, Daemon, like, this isn't about you. So I really like this sort of continuing theme of these, like, you know, warrior men who, like, think that this whole war is about their honor and their responsibilities. And it's like, yes, like, you know, everyone matters, but, like, right now...
You don't matter, man.
It's about Queen Rhaenyra right now. So
Flashback to season 2, episode 2, when Kristen made Jaehaerys' death about himself and, like, sent Arik to his death.
Yeah.
Like, to make himself feel better about it.
Yeah. Well, and, like, when Kristen came to Rhaenyra and was like, you got to run away with me.
Because this is my story.
Of my honor and my oaths. And Rhaenyra's like, well, like, yes, you matter, but also I'm to be the queen, and there's a prophecy, and I have responsibilities. Everything, like, about this political world makes it about, like, what the men want to do and how the men navigate their responsibilities and their desires and their legacies. But none of the women in this world, in this, like, political world, get the opportunity to choose their own futures, which is what this story has always been about.
I did want to hold on to this until we were talking about the Daemon Mysaria scene, but I guess we're doing it now. I do love how when Mysaria says, it's not about you, Daemon. If she'd said that to Daemon last season, he would have been like, fuck you, of course it's about me, everything's about me, I'm the main character of the universe.
Yeah.
But because Daemon has gone through Alice Rivers psychotherapy bullshit, he actually does know now that it actually isn't about him.
Yeah, I agree.
He's now equipped to understand that it isn't about him.
Yeah, true. Daemon's, like, being friendly with people, like, kind of for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
So for as much as the story is not about Daemon, this episode is Daemon Targaryen's big, happy, fun day. Because he gets to watch his wife kill Otto Hightower.
True.
He gets to, like, he's killed Jason. Well, he didn't kill Jason Lannister, but he's defeated another army, and, like, he's singing and dancing, and it's great, and he conquers King's Landing. Like, he's on top of the world at the moment.
I agree that, like, I think this is a much more humble Daemon and a more healthy Daemon in season 3 than was in season 2.
In that first scene with him in the Riverman, it's so much fun. He's happy.
Yeah.
When was the last time we saw Daemon happy?
Yeah, it's true.
And, like, he's getting along with his men, and it's great. And then Simon Strong comes along with a devastating message. Devastating news, Jaehaerys is dead. The last time Daemon received a message with news he didn't like on a war campaign, he beat the messenger to death.
Yeah.
This time, he just springs into action. He sends commands, and, like, sure, it's still brutal war. We're going to garrison Harrenhal. You guys are going to march to King's Landing, kill all who oppose you. But he's taking charge in the name of his wife, his queen, his love.
I don't know if it'll last, but he's pretty well behaved. And he has been having fun for, like maybe the first time in a long time. Like, I remember, like, season 1, episode 1, we see Daemon, like, having sex with Mysaria and getting no satisfaction
He's depressed.
out of it.
Satisfaction. That's an interesting word to bring up.
Yeah.
That comes up in this episode when Aemond conquers Harrenhal, and he's like, I'm gonna duel you, Simon Strong, old man who hasn't held a sword in decades. And Simon's like, is there some other way you can get satisfaction?
Yeah.
And then later on, when Rhaenyra takes King's Landing, and Daemon's like, I might kill you, Grand Maester Orwyle, for being on the side of Aegon.
Yeah.
Orwyle says, here's another thing that might get you more satisfaction. And I think it's quite important that they use the same word there.
Yeah, I agree, because Aemond and Daemon have always been linked. And I think Aemond is a less matured, less advanced version of Daemon. And so Aemond is out here still impulsively killing people for no reason. Yeah, no, there's so many parallels, aren't there? So many little connections. It is just also delightful to see Daemon partying and enjoying it, because so many times we've seen him like, you know, with Mysaria, or partying with Rhaenyra and going to the sex club, or like partying with the Gold Cloaks. And in every one of those season 1 parties, Daemon was having no fun.
Yeah.
Like, people partied around Daemon. So, like, this is the first time we've seen Daemon actually having fun with people, I feel. This is a good day for Daemon. You're right. This is a relatively good day.
Not a good day for Laurent Marbrand, who is currently taking in the effect of his treason.
Yeah.
Jace is dead and stuff.
Well, I think Laurent Marbrand is like a mini Kristen Cole right now, because, like, you know how when Kristen Cole had
like a
had
mini
sex with
backwards
Rhaenyra,
Kristen Cole,
and he was like seething, and he asked Alicent to kill him. Like, this is the same thing. There's a Kingsguard who feels like he's done treason and is asking to be killed. And like, Rhaenyra comments on how like sort of absurd that is. It's like, how is it going to help anyone for me to have you killed? It helps no one. It's only your personal honor that is helped by having you killed. This story does emphasize to us that the whole institution of Kingsguard just seems to be an elaborate way of getting talented warriors to die for stupid reasons.
Yeah. Jace does manage to short-circuit Laurent Marbrand's honor programming very easily.
It shouldn't be this easy to make a Kingsguard self-destruct, but we see it over and over and over
all
with
the
Kristen
time.
and Eric and Arik and
Balon
Jaime
Swan,
Lannister
Aris
and-
Oakheart.
The point being that like these like overly simplistic rules of obedience are not sufficient to reflect the complexities of real-world morality and politics. And these notions of like perfect moral purity are exactly what George Martin is critiquing. This is like the thesis statement of this story in some ways. There's no such thing as a one war. Any war, even a victorious war, is a war in which there are dead children and men blown to bits and grieving mothers, and there's no fucking winning. There's no good, ultimately, that will come of this. I think that Rhaenyra is like a little bit excited. There's a bit of hope in Rhaenyra when she's like skipping into the room like this, where I think she's like, yes, I get to see my son. Yes, like they've returned from the battle. Finally, I'll get some good news.
And I get to berate him.
And it's so tragic to see her heart sink. Rhaenyra grieves the death of Jace, and Emma Darcy's going for an Emmy on this one.
I think they have to invent new awards for Emma Darcy.
It's heartbreaking stuff. I love how they sort of, the energy of it at first is of a mother telling off her child for disobedience.
What have you done?
What have you done? As though Jace has been naughty and stolen a cookie from the cookie jar. And like, even after Rhaenyra realizes he's dead, she still is sort of like acting as though, you know, you silly child, you know, you've gone and stolen the car and done doughies outside the Baker's Delight again. You must stop doing this silliness, because like, he's a prince, he's a warrior, he's a dragon rider, but he's also her little boy. She has some line about like, oh, you know, we won the war, but the boys who used to hide their faces in my skirts are gone. Yeah,
it's very much pointing at Rhaenyra's dual roles as a human and as a politician, which are inherently contradictory to one another. Rhaenyra's grief for Jace is also framed in a very motherly way. Like, it's about those children who tugged at my skirts as boys.
Because it's politically catastrophic, but what's felt, of course, is the personal. And fucking hell, like Emma Darcy's like physical performance, like the way in which she like reaches and stops herself, and all the tension in every muscle. It's an amazing performance. It almost makes me feel guilty for having enjoyed the violence, which of course is also the point of this series, which is that knights and battles and dragons are cool, but violence and loss is the greatest evil in this world. And it makes us feel that. And it makes us uncomfortable, and it confronts us with that in the most powerful way possible, which is seeing a mother grieving the corpse of her young son. The grieving is more powerful now because it's in the context of the war. And so that means that it's at this moment of triumph. It is at this moment of
the battle is won.
The victory of the war. It's at that like emotional peak that it hits us with like the most savage uppercut to the nads.
Later in this episode, Corlys says, if this is a victory, I don't want another one.
Yeah. As we keep saying, this episode was meant to be episode 10 of season 2.
Oh, what a finale this episode is.
Season 2 would have been so much stronger if this was season 2, episode 10, wouldn't it? So much stronger.
What were they thinking?
Yeah, they really fucked up.
Yeah, Ryan, why did you choose to do that? Of course, he didn't choose to do that.
Season 2 was made worse by this rearrangement.
Yes.
I love how when Larry Marbles is saying, kill me, Rhaenyra says, will it wake my son? She doesn't say, will it bring my son back to life? Like, she's not saying yet that he's dead.
Yeah.
Like, she still sort of wants to believe that he's just asleep. No one has said Jace is dead.
I think the first person who says it is Jane Arryn. The Triarchy are landing on the shores around the Gullet.
Yeah, well, they're sort of crawling out of their burned ships and trying to survive the butchery, and the Valerians keep butchering them.
Get butchered, idiots.
I like it because it just feels so extremely pointless.
Yeah.
When Jace is dead.
Yeah,
It's like, why are they still fighting? What does this accomplish for anybody?
It's all over.
And so we see Alan searching for Lord Corlys, his father.
The Father
who fell
Lord.
Overboard.
Yep.
Like Alan's out here yelling, Lord Corlys, but like really he's
Dad!
yelling, Daddy!
Daddy, come home!
Daddy! Because Alan spent the previous season just brooding and simmering, but like now he's finally admitting to himself that no, I actually really want my dad to be in my life, and I actually want to begin to forgive him.
I think they're shaping Alan up to be Corlys if he had actually been serious.
Yeah.
If he had actually listened to people, if he actually knew what his family wanted.
Also, Baela is so different. Like in the books,
Yeah.
Baela is like the fun one and the tomboy and the adventurer. She has a pet monkey, for Christ's sakes. Baela has a pet monkey. Can you see like Baela in the show having a pet monkey just for fun?
No.
It does not seem like her. Like I feel like with Alan and with Baela, they're both less fun dynamic characters than what is in the books.
It would have been more fun if Baela had been this more carefree, monkey-owning girl who then became hardened by Jace's death.
That might have been a more interesting story for Baela.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Baela in the show doesn't really have an arc at all currently.
Yeah, all she's really done is guide other people.
Yeah.
Like, she's guided Corlys, she sort of guided Rhaenyra, she's tried to guide Jace. And now, in this episode, she tells Alan that she's tired of losing people.
Yeah.
Which is definitely fair enough, but it shapes her up to have basically the exact same story to tell as Rhaenys, and I think that might be retreading ground unnecessarily. Hi, Sheepstealer.
Props to Jane Arryn for like approaching a wild dragon without fear.
What does Rhaena have now?
Yeah, well, it just adds a layer of sadness that Rhaenyra really could have been close with Rhaena and isn't. Like, if Rhaenyra and Rhaena were more close, then maybe Rhaena would have felt safe enough to go back and face Rhaenyra right now, but she doesn't.
I think she was introduced really well. The scene with her dragon egg and Lena telling her that they don't always hatch, and, you know, sometimes my dragon egg didn't hatch and you can claim a dragon, and Daemon likes it when you do that, and he'll notice you one day.
Yeah, no, I agree. Rhaena in Pentos was very good.
So Rhaena comes to the gates of the Eyrie seeking asylum. How dare you?
Yeah, so Rhaena is worried that everyone's going to blame her for the death of Jace, and also the death of, like, all of those Valerian sailors who Sheepstealer killed.
True.
And so she's so scared that she runs back to the Vale and asks for Lady Jane Arryn to protect her, which I think is so sad because, like, if Rhaena thinks that Jane Aaron is like her best friend and the person who's most likely to protect her.
She's truly fucked.
Like, yeah, because they don't like each other. We saw last season, they don't get along particularly well.
I think it's right though, because Jane told Rhaena, I don't wish to be disempowered, that sort of thing. And now Rhaena has gone and got power for herself. So maybe she thinks that Jane's going to respect her. But no, not at all. I hate you, actually.
It's an act of desperation.
It's so desperate.
And cowardice. She should have faced Rhaenyra.
Rhaena has wanted this her whole life. She's wanted the dragon her whole life, and now she's gotten one, and she's been in the dragon battle. She's done the cool thing, the thing that like Daemon will finally notice her for, and it's not really what it was cracked up to be.
Yeah.
Exactly the same as Rhaenyra taking the throne.
Yeah. Dream turns out to be a nightmare. And that is the story that George Martin tells over and over. I love how bedraggled Rhaena looks.
Yeah, Rhaena looks absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, because like so often characters ride dragons and they step off their fire-breathing lizard and they're looking like perfectly made up. And I love how Rhaena looks like an absolute hot mess because she hasn't had a shower in a long time because she's been living in the Vale with like no supplies or camping equipment or anything.
And then she was in a dragon battle and she's caked in soot and smoke and ash.
Yeah. So Jane Aaron says like, I'm not gonna publicly support you because Rhaenyra screwed me over because Rhaenyra didn't give me an adult dragon to protect me as I asked. And Rhaena has screwed over Jane because Rhaena did not go to Pentos with Rhaenyra's kids as promised. And it'll bring more trouble for Jane if Rhaena and Sheepstealer stay there in defiance of Rhaenyra. So Jane says, no, I will not publicly back you. But, if you want to go live in the mountains in the Vale, I can't stop you. And so Jane's like hoping to get some advantage by having Sheepstealer around to protect her without publicly supporting Rhaena, which is like a smart move.
Definitely.
But it also means that Rhaena's prospects of getting a shower anytime soon are low to zero.
Yeah, Rhaena's got to fend for herself now. Jane currently controls the heir to the throne and is in sort of opposition to Rhaenyra. That's interesting.
No, Joffrey's a very useful hostage for Jane. It does mean that if Rhaenyra gets defeated, then Jane can just say to the Greens, hey, I'll trade you Joffrey and to show my goodwill and to,
Jane
save
is actually
the Vale.
Extraordinarily positioned politically. It also means, like, if Rhaenyra wants Joffrey back, Jane could say, okay, what do I get?
Yeah. Give me a dragon for real this time.
And, Daemon, like, if he comes to the Vale and encounters Rhaena as Sheepstealer's riders, like, Laena's vision saying, have you looked after our daughters? Daemon's going to look at Rhaena and see her in this condition.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to that.
It's sort of the big question right now is what is the Rhaena Daemon plotline going to be? Like, that's the biggest deviation from the books right now. And there's so many different ways they could play it,
I'm excited. I do like that Rhaena says, do you want a dragon or not? Like, that's what you wanted. I'm here with one. Like, it's so just fun and consistent and political.
Yeah, I like the scene because both characters are doing something that makes sense on a political level and on a personal level. There's still a lot of open questions right now about how much can Rhaena control Sheepstealer. I think Sheepstealer realizes that Rhaena is cross with him, and Sheepstealer does want to please Rhaena, but like Sheepstealer was afraid and acted out of fear when Sheepstealer attacked dragons and ships at the Gullet, and I think Sheepstealer is trying to behave right now.
Aww.
Like when a dog does something wrong and then the dog won't meet your eyes? Like, I think that's what Sheepstealer is doing right now.
Yeah. I'm on team Sheepstealer. Fish feed. I love how the Bracken messenger, the Bracken soldier that brings Simon to Daemon here, waits for the verse to finish before saying, Simon's here, by the way. Like, sorry, Simon's been here for a little while, but I wanted to wait for you guys to finish. I didn't want to interrupt the
Simon,
song.
Not Lord, but like Simon Strong was standing there the whole time waiting for them to get through the chorus. It doesn't really make much sense to me that Simon Strong personally travels
from Harrenhal
just to personally bring Daemon a message and then walks all the way back just to get killed by Aemond. If Simon did that later, he'd still be alive. If Simon stayed at this camp with the Tullys a little longer, if he joined for a few cups of mead, maybe Simon would still be alive because he wouldn't have been at Harrenhal.
Damn. Well, yeah, they just wanted to give us one last scene with Simon being a cool dude, being a little quirky old man, saying things like virile young men. What's that all about?
Yeah. They want to remind us that Simon exists and we love him before his death.
Yes.
It's unfortunate that Daemon refers to their army as the Queen's Fist when Aegon said that Kristen would be a steel fist.
Yeah, like, for as good as Daemon might be now, he's still that guy, you know? He's still that violent warrior at heart.
Yeah, force is still all he knows. And how is Daemon going to be useful at King's Landing when Rhaenyra is queen? That's the thing. Like, we spent a lot of time in season 1 establishing that Daemon is useless as a political figure in a time of peace. So it makes sense for Daemon to be not hanging around at King's Landing while Rhaenyra is queen.
I do love that upon receiving the message that Jacaerys is dead, Daemon's what he does is he reaffirms his loyalty to Rhaenyra. Like, this isn't an opportunity for him to gain more power. This is his time to prove to Rhaenyra who he is now. This is the most heroic he's ever looked.
Yeah.
And like I'm starting to understand now when why George said that he was made in equal parts dark and light.
True. Daemon has always in the shows just seemed like more of a villain to me. But he really does seem to be turning around a bit right now. And whether that lasts, we will have to wait and see.
And it's entirely due to the influence of Alice Rivers and Oscar Tully and Simon Strong. Like, his circumstances have galvanized him into a more almost moral figure. I don't want to say that he's a moral figure now, but he's definitely more noble.
I like how when he reads the letter about Jace's death, he does respond with, I think, sympathy for Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what we see on his face. The Rivermen are partying because they've just had a battle off screen called the Fish Feed.
Fish feed.
And this is a battle where the Rivermen defeat some of the Westermen, the Lannister armies.
And this battle is the one where the Winter Wolves actually do show up in the book, isn't it?
Can we appreciate Black Allie's raised eyebrow here?
Hi.
What a choice. Oh my god. Why is she... What is with the big eyebrow?
I'm hoping we get an actual introduction to Allie soon, because she's just been hanging out in these last 2 episodes.
But these rhymes. I tell you a tale of a cunning trick. Aemond comes, they said, run quick.
The bard himself would be envious. Aemond wasn't present for this.
Well, yeah.
Like, are they saying that they invoked Aemond as a trick, like to lure their enemies to the lakeshore?
Yeah, what cunning trick? I tell you a tale of a cunning trick. Aemond comes, they said, run quick. With his one good eye, he looks a prick. We've got Daemon, so go stick your dragon up your ass. What?
What indeed?
Just not a very good song, if you ask me.
I do like them all shouting fish feed, fish feed. That's fun.
Yeah, no, that's
fun.
I love that as a refrain. But yeah, it's a good time.
He huddles up with Jason Lannister's head for a bit. I do love to see Daemon like actually getting along with the men he's in an army with.
That is a quality that Daemon must have, is an ability to be loved by his men.
Well, yeah, we saw that
soldiers.
come into fruition at the end of this episode with Luther Largent.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he inspired such loyalty that 2 decades later, these men completely abandoned their command to bend their knees for Rhaenyra.
I think that's part of the purpose of this celebration scene, is to remind us that Daemon can be charismatic to the common man, which is how he won over the Gold Cloaks, which is how they win the throne this episode. This shot really is funnier the longer you look at it, isn't it? You know that shot of like Plato and Socrates like arguing outside?
Oh, the academy. Yeah.
Outside the academy. Like, this is recreated by Ali Blackwood and Roddy the Ruin. Although in this case, I think Ali is pointing to an imagined sphincter. So possibly not what Plato and Socrates were talking about.
Sphincters, real or imagined.
Sphincters, real or imagined.
I like how Ali Blackwood's getting on with Roddy the Ruin.
Yeah. Well, they both worship the same gods now, don't they?
True. Which of these delights drew you to us through glade and glen? Damon's feeling a bit fanciful, isn't he?
Damon's a poet all of a sudden.
Glade and glen, how lovely.
He's like me. Like, when he gets too happy, he just starts alliterating.
Yeah, it's time for alliteration, and he might even bust out some assonance later. Surely if he's in this mood, he must be upset with the lack of finesse to the fish feeds rhyme and meter.
Yeah, I think Daemon wrote that song.
Oh.
I think everyone's humoring him when he came out with the lyrics, But I think that Damon has a ways to go with his penmanship.
Caraxes has a little drinky.
Slurp, slurp, slurp. You know, like a curly straw? Like Caraxes' neck is a curly straw.
Ah, true.
Right now.
A crazy straw.
A crazy straw.
In Caraxes' fucked up mind, every straw is a crazy straw. So this is my favorite shot in anything ever, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the kind of thing that you want to have in this show, where, like, this is the most dragons that we will ever see in Westeros. Any Westeros show. We will never get more dragon time. This is the most dragon-heavy dragon show of all the dragon shows. And so this is the best opportunity we will ever get to have fun, whimsical little moments. Like, look, it's a dragon having a little drink.
And he had a nap in season 2, episode 8. Caraxes was having a nap and he was like, oh my god, my friends are here.
The visual effects continue, obviously, to be magnificent.
This is I just love this so much. Look at him.
I mean,
I'm in love.
I wasn't aware that dragons even drank water.
I was actually thinking about this. Vermax appears to just fucking give up on life as soon as he hits the drink, right? Dragons are fire-made flesh. Water puts out fire. I was wondering about the relationship between dragons and water. That's all.
Right, so when Alice says, remember what I told you, she's referring to when Alice told Daemon that he'll die at Harrenhal.
I believe so, yes.
Alice says, like, she's lived in this place for a long time in a long life.
Harrenhal was only built around 130 years ago.
Oh, so she might be only 130 years
Alice
old.
may only be 130 years old. Like, what if Alice is the spirit of Harrenhal? Huh? What about that?
Yeah, she is the ghost of Harrenhal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, if Alice has seen Harrenhal pass from hand to hand, from Towers to Rhaena to Strong, then Alice has to be at least like 70 years old.
And I'm assuming that she's actually seen it pass from Hor to Coharis to Haraway to Towers to Strong, and that she's actually even older than that.
I think that Alice is the Weirwood Grove that was cut down to build Harrenhal.
Yeah.
So I think that what Alice is asking is for some control over
that area,
herself and her autonomy, which is Harrenhal.
Yes, and I do like how
the magics within
tied into the politics and the themes of the show, with Daemon saying, "You've no noble husband. Like, you aren't, because you're a woman, like, because you're just a woman and you're a bastard, supposedly, you're not fit to wield political power. I can't give you your home, the thing that you're the embodiment of, because you're not a man, because you don't have the trappings of political power in my society." I do love that she asks, do you think that's the sum of what I am, a midwife? It raises questions that might have bad answers.
Daemon should be grateful to Alice.
Yeah, it is strange that he says, I'm not sure what your purpose was.
From Daemon's perspective, it should be pretty clear that Alice's goal was to help Rhaenyra win the war, because Alice gave Daemon the visions of Rhaenyra being the chosen one, and Alice brought the Rivermen to Daemon's side by killing Lord Grover Tully, which is like a pretty big thing that has never really been explicitly talked about.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think this is what we were talking about. Like, Daemon has undergone personal growth. He has learned some humility, but apparently not enough humility to respect women.
Maybe he's at the point of respecting Targaryen women.
Yeah. Well, he's learned to respect one woman, which is his wife Rhaenyra.
Yes.
But of course, I guess he also is just reflecting the sexist reality of this world, which is not a world in which commoner Alice Rivers can rule Harrenhal.
What Daemon says is completely
not politically
true.
Possible.
The crown is not in the habit of handing castles to midwives. It makes complete sense. And like Alice's reaction to that is in line with Ulf saying, I can't live in a title. Like when Daemon says, oh, maybe we can get you something else. Alice doesn't want money or titles or anything other than Harrenhal, because that's who she is.
Like Rhaenys said, the world is sexist and won't accept female leaders.
And Rhaenyra said, when I am queen, I will make a new order.
Will Rhaenyra build a new order in which Alice Rivers can rule Harrenhal?
Yeah, and the questions facing Rhaenyra are Alice Rivers ruling Harrenhal. What are you going to do with Rhaena, Baela? What are you going to do with Alicent, Helena, Jaehaera? Like, these are the women in politics around you that you have to address. And if she addresses them in the same way that a previous regime would have, she's no better, right? She hasn't done anything. And I think that is going to be the show's answer, is that Rhaenyra isn't for women's empowerment. She's for her own empowerment.
Also, I love the line when Alice says that, like, rubies can never satisfy my hunger. Like, Alice is really scary for a moment here, and you can really see her as a weirwood that demands blood sacrifice in this moment.
Yes.
Like, she is something scary and primal, and she's not just a psychotherapy clinic, she is a force that needs blood. Alice wants Harrenhal. I'm trying to imagine what Alice wants to do with Harrenhal, and I'm just imagining a bunch of green men and goats just hanging out and singing songs by a campfire. Like, is that what she wants? A little sanctuary for magical weirdos?
Probably regrow the Weirwood Grove so that she can return to what she actually is. God, I love the striation in Moondancer's wings.
They did a good job.
It's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's funny that Alan is like stomping through the sand and the wet, smelling the corpses of the dead, having a miserable time trying to find Corlys.
And Adam comes in, whoop-de-doop-de-doo, flying on my there he is!
Like, I know Alan says that he doesn't want a dragon, but he must feel a little bit jealous that he doesn't have a dragon.
Well, I don't know. So Alan's looking for Corlys, and he sees Baylor on Moondancer flying overhead, and he gives a look to Moondancer, and that dragon's on his team ostensibly, but the way he looks at that dragon is he just saw the devastation the dragons wrought on battle, right?
Yeah, true. And he saw Sheepstealer burning Valerians.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Alan should be wary.
I'm not entirely sure that Alan's a big fan of dragons as we are. It's a shame. I have to disagree with him. So yeah, Baylor has incredible eyesight and finds Alan walking around on a random beach.
Baylor and Alan talk about Corlys.
Their first ever conversation.
I'm
a little annoyed that Baylor appears to have an off-screen conversation with Adam.
Yeah.
Where they talk about Alan, and that Baylor knows who Adam and Alan are. Like, is the does Rhaenyra know who Adam and Alan are?
Baylor talks about how Corlys is like stern and proud and loving, and I like the comment she makes about how Corlys loved Rhaenys, and that's why he tried to forget about you, Alan. And Alan talks about how painful that is. Like, it's the same as Corlys's line last episode when he was like, "Oh, I did like your mother for what little we had together." And like, Alan's like, man, you say that as though it's meant to make me happy, but like that is a really tough thing for me to hear.
I cannot believe you said that.
And Alan has like the same reaction here, where it's like, it doesn't make me feel good when you say that Corlys tried to forget me because he loved Rhaenys. I'm still frustrated with the feeling with Baylor that Baylor, in like every one of her scenes, she's being the responsible one, she's being the level-headed one, and like it falls on her to be emotionally responsible when everyone else is being irresponsible.
Responsible and also restrained.
Yeah. Restrained is the word. Baylor has been restrained in every one of her scenes, except for the one scene where she briefly swooped Kristen, but that amounted to nothing.
Yeah. She does say in this scene, "I'm tired of losing people," which I like. I really like that she says that, but also it's sort of our first inclination of that feeling from her. Like, it totally makes sense, obviously.
Yeah.
She's lost so many people. Her mother, her step-brothers / betrothed, her grandmother, Uncle Laenor.
I really would have liked if Alan, in this scene, said, "Hey, Baylor, I'm really sorry that your betrothed, your future husband and future king, Jace, died
in front of you.
I'm sorry that you don't get to be Queen of Westeros because of Jace's death." That's an implication that they haven't talked about at all. But Baylor was going to be queen.
Just like how Rhaenys was going to be queen.
Yeah, Baylor is a queen that never was.
Yep.
I like the feeling here of Baylor and Alan both being people who have lived in the shadow of Corlys and in the orbit of Corlys. It's like Corlys is this giant. It's like Corlys is this gas giant, and all these other people are orbiting around him and are subject to his whims.
His many moons.
Just
pulled in by his gravity.
Baylor, Rhaena, Adam,
and they
Alan.
keep dying.
Yeah. And he's just standing there watching the devastation as his moons...
I don't know what happened.
His moons become rings.
I fucking love later on in this episode when Corlys is looking at the wreckage of his home that he built with his two hands, the symbol of his legacy, his monument to his own awesomeness, the thing he built to show his wife that he loves her, even though she didn't give a shit about any of that and just wanted him to pay attention to her and their family. And he's like, well, I guess all we have now is each other.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And you see the four of them there, and that's it. That's the Velaryon family as it remains, because I guess Rhaena is off doing her own thing for now. Alan gives an interesting look as Adam rides over with Sea Smoke because I don't know, it's like, oh cool, that's my brother, but also like, is he fearful of the dragon? Is he jealous of his brother?
Well, when was the last time we got an Alan Adam scene? Like, I feel like we established how close these brothers are in season 2 when Alan's like, I hope you've got that goat stew,
I've
brother.
got a goat stew.
Goat
your
stew.
goat stew is the best.
Yeah,
Tell
like
the goat.
we need another scene with them. They need to touch base. And maybe they are awkward now. Maybe they do feel estranged now. I think that would be like worthy of exploring.
Alan says to Baylor, this is the first thing Alan says to Baylor, you knew him as a child. Like specifying as a child because Alan didn't know Corliss as a child.
Yeah.
Damn.
True.
Also, Baylor keeps saying Corliss just doesn't die, man. Like, people think he's dead and he's not dead. He just never is fucking dead, man.
It's funny the repetition here. Like, Alan is out here searching for Corliss's body after falling in a naval battle, which is the same thing that happened last season when Corliss was wounded in a naval battle and Alan was the one who dragged him out of the water.
To clarify, that was actually in season 1.
Season 1?
Before we actually met Alan.
Yeah, but they only talk about it in season 2.
Yeah.
It does represent how Alan and Corliss's relationship hasn't really gone anywhere. They're doing the same shit they did years and years and years ago, which is Alan being by Corliss's side and pulling him out of the water. The one new thing is that Corliss says he acknowledges Alan as a Valerion now.
And Alan called Corliss father. They're accepting each other finally.
Yeah. All of this works if Corliss changes his behavior to change the situations, which is what should happen. So then we continue the world's worst road trip with Aegon Targaryen and Larys Strong.
Aegon isn't talking to Larys.
Yeah, I love this like childish tantrum that
funny.
Aegon is throwing. I'm not talking to you. Yeah, you were mean.
And he immediately talks to like there's no there's no discipline here.
And there's such a wonderful comedic duo with Larys being so wise and scheming and calculating and Aegon being just a big baby. The big baby for whom this entire war is supposedly being fought. Larys is now the last living Strong.
Yeah, he's the last Strong because Aemond killed Simon and his sons.
When Aemond is taking over Harrenhal and killing Larys's entire family, like, it makes sense for him to, like, mention the Larys connection. Like, to mention, oh, and where's all of your gold, Sir Simon? And Sir Simon's like, oh, Larys took the gold and sent it to Braavos.
And Aemond says, that toad.
That toad!
I do love that Aemond calls Larys a toad and Larys calls Tyland a peacock. Like, it's just fun.
Yeah. The Triarchy are now running amok in Westeros.
Yeah.
And Larys's reaction is very, very funny. I'm mistaken. I am surprised.
That was so bloody funny.
And so Larys and Aegon escape, and Larys bops a guy with a cage, and Aegon like stabs him to death with an arrow, like a shiv. There's like an improvisational flavor to the fighting. It's kind of a cartoonish fight.
Oh, this whole scene is the fucking farce. It's farcical. It's ridiculous.
It was all very goofy. I guess you just have to see it as like a comedy scene. This is our sort of comedic B plot, which is funny that it's comedic because like Larys and Aegon are like two of the worst people alive. So it's very funny that like the comedic relief are two of the most monstrous, exploitative villains in the story. It's all odd. Larys wants to go to a port and take a boat to Braavos and hide there until the end of the war, but Aegon insists that they'll go to Rook's Rest. And Aegon doesn't say why he wants to go to Rook's Rest.
He says that Criston Cole left a garrison there who he thinks will be loyal to him.
Yeah, well, okay. But I think that it's reasonable for us to say that Sunfire, Aegon's dragon, was last seen at Rook's Rest, and so maybe that's why Aegon wants to go to Rook's Rest.
He doesn't want to go across to Essos to sit out the war. That's what Rhaenyra's baby children are doing. I can imagine dragons you'd never even consider.
Adam's armor looks so cool.
It's pretty cool. Alan's in a little blankie because he's so cold. I like you can see his hair a little bit in this scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's exciting. His Velaryon identity showing through. So Corlys says that Alan can have his Velaryon name. Does Corlys have the power to make Alan a Velaryon? This is the first time that Corlys, Alan, Adam, and Baylor have started to feel like a family.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like after all these years, all these seasons, House Velaryon feels like a family.
Yeah, I feel like up till this point, House Velaryon has been Corlys and whoever he felt like bringing, whereas now, like, that's a family.
Yeah, I feel like this shot, like, it shows us that this is a family now.
In the
because
destruction of
all
Corlys'
the
legacy, yeah.
The loss and the destruction has brought them together. And I feel like they're going to be really like, you feel like they're going to be strong allies and strong family looking after each other.
Yeah.
Now after everything that's happened. But yeah, I really like the feeling of like, okay, this family is here and they're together. Man, it must really stink on that beach.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they need to clean up all these corpses?
Dragon.
Some crabs.
And the crabs are hungry, as we've established. I've been to that beach. It's not that smelly. I had a really delicious ice cream on that beach.
Ooh, what flavor?
It was like a caramel toffee thing. It was brilliant.
Whoa. So then Alicent ogles some naked cops.
Yeah, she walks through the men's locker room and there's some flaccid cock there because it's Game of Thrones.
We talk to Luther Largent.
Who is not a C-tier Marvel character, but you can be forgiven for mistaking that.
Alicent is doing treason.
Yeah, but like, against who?
Against her sons.
Yeah, but like, if from Rhaenyra's point of view, this isn't treason, this is,
From a certain point of
Yeah,
view.
exactly.
Here's my question. Why does Alicent trust Luther Largent
That's a great
with
question.
this treason?
That's a great question. So Alicent's so desperate, right? I think that's pretty much all I've got for you.
Here's the bit that I like. I like the bit where Alicent goes to the Scorpion Ballistae men and says, "Don't do that. I'm the queen. I want you to surrender when the dragons come."
Helena's also here and she's the queen and she says the same thing. Isn't that right, Helena? That's right, Mum.
Like, yeah. Yeah, like that scene I like because I believe that the Scorpions are a real threat to Rhaenyra's dragons. And I believe that these men might listen to Alicent and Helena, if only because they'd rather not be burned by dragons. However, the Gold Cloaks, everyone knows that Daemon was close with the Gold Cloaks for a long time. We know that that relationship exists. But a relationship between Alicent and Luthor Largent, we have never seen before. In fact, we've never seen Luthor Largent before.
New character just dropped.
So, like, I would be so much more comfortable with this if they set it up. If, like, we had seen Alicent talking to Luthor in the past, in, like, season 2, ideally, I would feel more happy with all of this. But the fact that Alicent decides to approach Luthor Largent and Daemon doesn't, and Mysaria doesn't, is stupid, in my opinion. Like, Daemon was here last season.
Yeah.
Last season, Daemon came to King's Landing. He talked to a Gold Cloak, Blood. They reminded us of Daemon's relationship with the Gold Cloaks.
Yeah, why wasn't Luthor Largent introduced then?
Well, yeah, Luthor Largent should have been introduced then. And it just doesn't make any fucking sense that neither Daemon nor Mysaria nor anyone on Team Black even consider the idea of, hey, why don't we talk to the cops who Daemon was in charge of for years and talked to recently to get them to help with our conquest of King's Landing.
That's a huge thing, that the City Watch of King's Landing is institutionally loyal to Daemon. That should be a huge deal on Dragonstone.
That's the other dumb part of this, is that Daemon decides to just take on all of the Greens in the Red Keep by himself with no help. He doesn't bring any soldiers either on Dragonback or from King's Landing. Like, he was the prince of the city. We saw Daemon being the prince of the city. And we saw Mysaria having a network of spies in King's Landing.
Yeah, like, theoretically, the plan could have been, all right, we land with our dragons, secure everything except, like, the inside of the keep, because we know that that's the thing we can't just, like, have immediately. I'll go get the Gold Cloaks, and then we'll storm the keep.
Yeah.
Like, why isn't that what they did? Because, like, this way, like, it's a cool dramatic moment to have Rickard Thorne and those green soldiers at the throne room, like, as a last stand against Rhaenyra, but also it's extremely dumb that Daemon and Rhaenyra put themselves in that position.
I think that they should have removed this Alicent Luthor scene and just kept the Scorpion and Aemon scenes, because then Alicent would have made a difference, and the show wouldn't have to make Daemon and Mysaria suddenly dumb and ask the audience to forget.
I suppose the point of this is to introduce Luthor Largent before he's critically important at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they should have fucking done that last season.
Yeah.
And like, I know,
So is this another one of those effects of the season being cleft in twain?
yeah, you're fucking right. Because like, yeah, this should have been the finale to season 2. And if they had cast Luthor in season 2, then they could have introduced Luthor earlier in season 2. Yeah, all of this could have been integrated better. So yeah, I find that frustrating. I think that I think the best reading of it, like the most charitable reading, is it's desperation.
Yeah, that's why I led with that when you asked for an explanation.
And it's willingness to risk herself for the sake of ending the war and protecting lives.
The meanest interpretation is she's stupid.
Yes.
And everyone else is stupid as well.
Yes. Don't make it look like all the characters are stupid. Because, like, Alicent knows that Daemon was aligned with the Gold Cloaks. Like,
yes,
Alicent,
bring Daemon up.
But, yeah, Alicent should bring that up.
Yes.
Alicent should say, like, the Prince of the
Daemon is
city
coming.
wants you to rise up again. Like, wouldn't that be interesting?
Yes.
Like Alicent hates Daemon. So wouldn't it be interesting for Alicent to bring up Daemon and to have to sort of align with Daemon and like pretend to be working with Daemon? Because that's one of the fun tensions here is that, like, yes, Alicent is trying to help her childhood BFF Rhaenyra take the throne, but Alicent is also helping Daemon become king consort.
Yeah.
And all of those concerns from season 1, episode 1 about Daemon getting close to the throne being dangerous, that is all just as valid now than it was before.
Otto's fears finally confirmed. Like the most consistent motivation of any character in this show is that Daemon wants to kill Otto.
Yes, and Otto wants to keep Daemon away from the throne for very good reasons.
And now Alicent is bringing that about.
Yes, that's
I think it'd be
fascinating.
so much more fun if she said that out loud.
Yeah, I want Alicent to like mutter under her breath or like say to Helena, I can't believe that I'm helping Daemon. You know, I don't know where Otto is, but he would be so pissed if he knew that I was helping Daemon become king consort.
The Rogue Prince himself.
The Rogue Prince himself.
It brings me so much joy to see Ulf going in for the hug with Prince Daemon Targaryen and then immediately going, ugh, maybe not. Ulf was trying to do the same thing he did when he met Jace. Remember when Ulf was meeting
my boy?
Jace?
Yeah.
And Ulf, like, I think he knew that this was the prince. And to deal with, like, the difference in social status, Ulf tried to disarm the tension by sort of going on the charm offensive and being like, get it, you know, give a noogie to the prince, us boys, let's get a beer. Like, that was how he tried to take control of the situation with Jace. And here, when he meets Daemon, he was about to try to do the same thing.
But then look at him.
But then he saw Daemon and he's like, oh, this is not going to work.
I'm not going to get away with that one.
I can't give Prince Daemon a noogie. I'm not going to get away with that. And so I think that Ulf
Silverwing
is really...
or no, that will kill me.
Yeah.
And the treatment that he receives in this scene, like, you get a sense that Ulf's going to remember the way that Daemon responded to, like, the talking down he gets, and in the next scene as well, when they, like, he's given strict orders, do not think. You're not allowed to think.
Yeah.
That's gonna stick with him.
This is so consistent with Daemon's behavior for the entire series. Like, whenever Daemon has problems in his life, which is all the time, he takes out his rage on innocent people. Like, it's like when Daemon's all pissed about the son for a son situation, and Daemon just starts, like, yelling at fucking, like, Eric Cargill for no reason.
That was so funny.
And he just starts, like pushing around Mazzaria and Eric Cargill.
That's right. He accuses Eric of treason for no reason.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
You gotta have a reason for accusing people of treason. But I think that his behavior towards Ulf and Hugh here, it's somewhat validated because Aemond gets to take Harrenhal uncontested now. And I really love that Daemon brings up, I left a garrison there. I left a household there. Yeah. Those people are going to die now.
Yeah.
There is nothing we can do to save them because you didn't stick with your command. You have killed those people, Ulf and Hugh. I think Daemon, they've fucking cooked with. They've made such major changes to most main characters. I think Daemon's just it, you know?
Daemon is maybe the best character in this show because he always makes sense. He always, like, has that consistent core of who he is, which is someone who, like, desperately wants to be loved and strong and to get approval, but he's like, he can never be satisfied because as much as he wants the throne, he knows he'd be a bad king. And as much as he thinks he wants,
Yeah, he has the wisdom to know that he would be a poor ruler. Like, he smirks when Otto says that Daemon would be a bad king. Yeah, he knows.
He knows it, and it's taken him 2 seasons to gradually start to swallow his pride a little bit and to be able to genuinely commit himself to Rhaenyra. And he's continuing down that path of like just trying to achieve a little bit of fucking empathy. He's consistently fun and interesting and makes sense. In a way, Hugh and Ulf were right to come back to Dragonstone. They could have saved Jace if they were a little bit quicker.
Maybe we do need Ulf's thoughts.
Yeah.
Let him shit.
Ulf has good thoughts.
Let him shit. Daemon doesn't like that Ulf reminds him of the spooky shit in Harrenhal, so he slaps him. I don't like that. I'm going to slap you.
I mean, the spooky stuff in Harrenhal was some of the most like emotionally vulnerable, raw, traumatic moments of his life. Like all of that like mother sex scenes and Laena's ghost and like
he decapitated young Rhaenyra for fuck's sake.
Yeah. He saw Millie. So I think that this is touching a sore spot for Daemon when Ulf talks about all that magic.
He was crying while he apologized to his brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Hugh is quite brave because Daemon punches Ulf in the face for talking about voices. And then Hugh is like, no, really, there was a witch. Like, that's pretty brave of him because he knows that Daemon might just hit him.
I love the framing of this scene. The way it's shot is just fantastic.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Well, it's Claire Kilner, isn't it?
Claire Kilner, Sarah Hess, back at it again.
Claire Kilner, always killing it.
Why are we always calling him Aemond One-Eyed? Do we have to distinguish him from some other Aemond who's running around with a dragon?
Well, if you get to enunciate the D, things are going to get confusing.
True.
Never forget to enunciate the D. That's the Dragon Time motto.
That's the Ragon Time motto.
We have a scene with Daemon and Mysaria, and they're talking about Aemon's movements and politics. But I think the fun subtext here is that Daemon and Mysaria used to be lovers. And now Daemon is married to Rhaenyra, and Mysaria made out with Rhaenyra.
And Rhaenyra's in love with Alicent.
Yes.
So they're both Rhaenyra's like current interest, but like in some sense, but also they're both Rhaenyra's exes. And
yeah, I think that what's happening here is that like
messy.
Mysaria and Daemon are both kind of commiserating about the fact that Rhaenyra in some sense cares about Alicent more than she loves either Daemon or Mysaria.
I love a lot of the lines in this scene, especially Daemon like calling Ulf and Hugh the Smith and the Sot. That's just so much fun to me.
I mean, I love Mysaria telling Daemon, not everything's about you,
Yeah,
Daemon.
it's brilliant. That's great.
Because that's a message that Daemon has. I mean, that's kind of what Alice was telling Daemon in the visions.
Daemon knows that that's true now. He has said it's about Daenerys. He doesn't know it's Daenerys, but he said that it's about Daenerys.
Mysaria tells Daemon it's not about you. And like I think in the past, Daemon would be violent or aggressive.
How
after
dare
being
you
told
say that? How dare you say it's not about me? That's basically what he does with Rhaenyra in season 1, episode 10. Rhaenyra says, oh my God, there's this prophecy that your brother told me and not you because he loved me and not you. And the prophecy is about how you're not important. And he chokes her because like that drives him insane. And here, Mysaria says, not everything's about you. And, like, he does a little look off. He thinks, like, I don't know about that, sister. And but like, his response to that is to sit down and talk with her instead of be violent with her, which, you know, he had been in the past.
Yeah. It is nice to see Daemon grow from a complete dickhead to just
mostly
a lot
dickhead.
of a dickhead.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense that Mysaria, like, tries to get Rhaenyra to not trust Daemon, and that's one of the fun things happening in this episode is that Mysaria and Daemon are competing for Rhaenyra's trust.
Yeah, it's the fight for Rhaenyra's heart, really. They're both capable of things that the other isn't. Mysaria has this spy network and orchestrates the food thing to win over the trust of the small folk. She got the dragon seeds to Dragonstone, which did, you know, get Rhaenyra 3 new dragons. So that's pretty cool.
Well, Daemon and Mysaria should be a great team to support Rhaenyra, but we're already seeing that they're not being a great team.
Well, they can't
are
get
trying to marginalize each other.
But they are unified by their, you know, backing of Rhaenyra.
Yeah. I like how they show Alicent having to hike up her dress to get up the stairs. How annoying to be expected to have to wear such an inconvenient garment.
But she's so pretty.
I mean, contrasting with Rhaenyra, who wears a sword and mail this episode. Like, this is Alicent and Rhaenyra wielding two different forms of feminine power this episode.
Feminine power, you say?
Well,
I think the power that Rhaenyra wields is quite specifically masculine.
it is masculine, but what she discovers is that she doesn't know how to wield a sword.
Yes.
She doesn't know how to wield masculine power because it was kept from her all her life.
And
Alicent
Alicent is trying to finesse a way to exercise feminine power without having to do masculine power things. And she gets abused for it.
And she also like isn't able to use it in the conventional way. Like she's having to be like sneaky and improvisational this episode. So like both Rhaenyra and Alicent are like grappling with the inadequacies of their gendered forms of power this episode. I really like Rickard Thorne's arc this episode because you can see him sort of like trying to protect Alicent, realizing that Alicent is doing treason, grappling with what to do about it, deciding to betray her, then deciding to confront Daemon and Rhaenyra and hoping for a big epic fight, finding out that he's actually going to lose and probably be executed. Like, Rickard Thorne goes on a whole long, cool arc that, like, makes sense, and most viewers don't know his name.
Yeah, it's communicated, like, very in the back. It's all in the background. Yeah, I had previously thought that Sir Rickard Thorne was just, like, you know, another Kingsguard who's going to tag along with Alicent because we need a Kingsguard in those scenes. Like in season 2, he just goes with her to the Kingswood.
Yeah.
He does express a little bit of doubt. He's like, when are we going back? Why are we doing this? What are we here for?
Yeah.
And Alicent, like, commands him around, like, no, just stay here till I'm ready to go back. Just follow me. It's fine. Don't think about it. And so here, I guess that chicken is coming home to roost.
If there's one thing everyone can agree on, it's that Emma Darcy's really good at acting.
Oh my God, they're fucking incredible.
It's the one undeniable truth of this show.
I mean, last episode, I was like, oh, how is anyone ever going to upstage Olivia Cook? And Emma Darcy's like, just watch this.
Yeah. It's really fascinating that Rhaenyra says, oh, the wild dragon sheep stealer had a rider at the gullet. And Daemon says, that's impossible. A wild dragon can never be tamed.
Yeah.
I think that says many things. I think one of the things that says is that Daemon probably tried to tame Sheepstealer and Grey Ghost and Cannibal, the three wild dragons of Dragonstone. Because like I really liked in, what was it, season 1, episode 8, when Daemon was like climbing around Dragonstone collecting dragon eggs.
I love that scene so much.
Like that's like the one other time that we've seen Daemon happy in
he's
this
so
entire
happy.
show. The 2 times we've seen Daemon happy was when he was singing about the fish feed and when he was climbing around collecting dragon eggs. Those were the 2 times he's been happy. But like we know that Daemon is like the one guy who like is a huge fan of dragons and training dragons and adventuring with dragons. He must know stuff about Sheepstealer, Cannibal, and
for him
Grey
to say that a
Ghost.
wild dragon can't be tamed, like that's probably like he's the most meaningful person who could say that, other than a dragon keeper, I suppose.
And it seems like Daemon is right, because Rhaena certainly hasn't tamed Sheepstealer entirely, doesn't control Sheepstealer entirely.
I also want to point out, Daemon isn't only talking about Sheepstealer here. Daemon Targaryen is himself a wild dragon. And in season 2, Alice Rivers attempted to tame him. Rhaenyra attempted to tame him. Daemon is saying here, you can't control me.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows that he's saying that, but he is saying it.
I like that. No, Daemon absolutely has asked people to call him wild dragon during sex. Daemon absolutely thinks of himself as a wild dragon.
True. And okay, I hate that I'm about to say this. I'm so
I know what
sorry.
you're about to say.
Daemon shouts Dracarys when he comes.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm so fucking sorry. But you know, it's true.
No, yeah. No, you got it. It's facts. It's facts.
We don't even have to ask George or Ryan or Matt Smith about that.
Oh,
it's
Lord.
already true.
Yeah.
I called it, by the way. I fucking called it. I fucking called that Rhaenyra is going to send Daemon to deal with the Sheepstealer rider, and one assumes in the future he'll go to the Vale, find out it's Rhaena, and be like, "Oh my god, what the fuck am I going to do?"
Yeah.
Called it before the trailers.
Yeah, you called it, and it makes sense, and it feels inevitable. It was set up well. I like it. This is a huge deviation from the books, and so far I like it. I like what they're doing with Rhaena and Sheepstealer and Daemon. Because it does something with Daemon and Rhaena's relationship, which was always set up to be needing further exploration.
Yeah.
And it can even use Daemon's history with the Vale and like his wife Rhea Royce, who he murdered in the Vale, and that time that he said he would petition Jane Arryn, and they never followed that up. But like,
there's so many.
It sounds
things.
like Daemon may have a relationship with Jane Arryn as well as with Rhaena, as well as with Sheepstealer.
There are so many things that Daemon could. I mean, we were all like, what's Daemon going to get up to in the Riverlands in season 2? And now I'm like, oh my god, what's Daemon going to get up to in the Vale?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Rhaenyra says, I don't want to talk politics. I have no stomach for it. So that line Rhaenyra said last episode about, I may appear to have the feeble body of a woman, but I have the heart of a king. That's rephrasing a real historical line, apparently, from Elizabeth I, who said something like that. But Elizabeth I's line said, I may have the feeble body of a woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king. That's what Elizabeth said. And
whereas
here
Rhaenyra says heart
is
and
saying,
spirit, but
I
here
have
she says
no
stomach. Okay.
So this is another little riff on that Elizabeth line, I think. She went very quickly from, I have the soul of a man, to, I'm in bed.
Well,
I just want to eat chips.
Her baby's dead.
Bring me carbs and let me watch Netflix. I have no stomach for it.
Her first son is dead.
I'm not making fun of her. Relatable, queen.
It's a big chair made of swords.
I love this line so much. When Rhaenyra says, those boys who hid their little faces in my skirts are dead so that I may sit upon a throne of swords. And she just says it in the most miserable way possible of, this is so stupid. How did I ever think this war could possibly be worth it?
It highlights the arbitrary nature of the symbols of power, right? Remember when Otto said to Alicent, oh, dude, you have to stand in opposition to Rhaenyra, because if you don't, your children are going to die. Fast forward to now, whose sons are dead? I don't see Alicent's sons floating at the top of the gullet.
And of course, we can blame Daemon and Aemond for much of it.
Okay, Jaehaerys is dead. Alicent lost a grandson. Fair enough.
But yeah, I do like the sense of, like, everyone sees the futility and the inevitability of the war. Everyone feels that this war is not worth it, and we cannot stop it.
Yeah, we have to do it. This is stupid. Let's do it.
Everyone is, like, trapped in the war now.
I like that Daemon switches to speaking High Valyrian when it's, like, serious time. It's time to get serious about prophecy and shit.
Because that was their secret little intimate language since season 1, episode 1.
Yeah.
Daemon would talk to Rhaenyra in Valyrian because it was their special little unique Targaryen thing. And the only other character who we see talking Valyrian is Aemond. Yeah, I really like that they bring this back to Viserys. Because, like, the thing that Rhaenyra and Daemon have in common, because their family is fucked up and incestuous, is that they both loved Viserys. And they're kind of still doing this for Viserys in a lot of ways. Like, if it wasn't for their shared love for Viserys, there's no way they would be together still.
Did Alicent not start her side of the war also for Viserys?
Yeah. Well, that's what's so funny and ironic about all of this, is that Viserys' family is destroying itself because they all love Viserys in, like, their own different possessive ways.
Even though he sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. He was so undeserving of it. Well, I mean, it's because Viserys' love was inadequate that they're still fighting for Viserys' love and approval years after he died.
Yeah.
But I really love that they bring it back to Viserys. Is that it's not just, like, Chosen One nonsense. It's, does daddy love me stuff, and it's, can I be a good leader stuff. Like, it comes back to the personal, and that's why it still works. However, I do think they have muddied it by bringing up Daenerys.
I agree.
I think that it's a better story if Rhaenyra thinks she's the chosen one, as opposed to if she thinks that Emilia Clarke is the chosen one, because that just confuses things. Like, this has to be about the future. I mean, I think it's possible that, like, Daemon and Rhaenyra might think that Rhaenyra is the chosen one and Rhaenyra must win to save the world from White Walkers, but also there is a future continuity and there are other dragon queens in the future, and in order for that to continue and for us to continue stopping the darkness in the north, you are the chosen one now, and there will be future chosen ones. You're the avatar now, there will be future avatars. That makes sense.
The other thing going on in this scene is that Rhaenyra's status as a human is conflicting with her status as a politician. The personal and the political are the same thing, and they cannot coexist. Rhaenyra as a mother, as a woman, is getting in the way of Rhaenyra as a leader. Well, and that's been the whole thing throughout the entire show.
I never thought this would be like one of the stronger arcs in this show, is Daemon being a bit better of a person.
Well, going into season 1, did you think that like, did it ever occur to you that that was going to be about how Viserys was trying and sucked? I think this show has made so many brave calls about what to do with its plot, about what to highlight, about whose characters' arcs go where.
I think it's paid off more often than it's failed.
I agree. Oh, it's this scene. Yippee!
So Alicent is packing her bags to flee King's Landing and has been secretly working against her team by alerting the Gold Cloaks and such. And then Lord Jasper Wilde Ironrod comes in, and Jasper tries to rape Alicent, and Alicent hits him, and then Orwell comes in and stops it. And it sucks.
Yeah. And yeah, sorry, Alicent.
Jasper says, like, we must get what pleasure we can while the darkness is coming. And so I think this attempted rape has a similar feeling to the rape last episode, which was in Kristen's army, where Kristen was talking about, we all will become beasts because the war and the darkness is coming. And so it's this attitude of like, well, war's coming, the world's ending. And so these men are thinking, well, we might as well rape and take pleasure.
Yeah, it sounds like Jasper's figured out that Rhaenyra is going to come take King's Landing, which means he's probably going to be executed one way or the other.
Jasper says that Rickard Thorne told him that Alicent was scurrying around doing treason.
Oh.
Rickard,
there's that mystery solved.
Jasper says, her own sworn sword alerted me. So that's what I like about Rickard's arc, is that Rickard in this episode is all conflicted, and ultimately he defers to Lord Jasper, the Master of Laws,
who doesn't have authority over him.
Who doesn't have authority, but it's just like that sexist thing of like Rickard trusts the good Lord Master of Laws Jasper Ironrod more than this emotional woman who's out doing treason. The irony of which is that Jasper is a rapist and an opportunist.
And he gives into his emotions and his desires and does an evil thing.
Yeah, so again, like the double standard for women and men is the point of this episode, if not the whole show.
Better go tell a man that something's happening. All the power that she's had across her life, and she's still only ever a sexual object to the men in her life. It's been true for Viserys, it's been true for Jasper, it's been true for Aemond, Kristen, Larys. Even her father, Otto, saw her value as a sexual object to acquire political power for himself and his family. No wonder she wants out. The audacity of Jasper, like when he gets caught out, when Orwell and some guards come in. I guess that's a household guard that comes in with Orwell. When they come in and like see what's going on, the audacity Jasper has to say, "Orwell, arrest her! I've caught her in the act of treason." When like he's clearly raping her.
Well, it might have worked if Orwell didn't stand up for Alicent.
Big W to Orwell. It's unending, eternal, Orwell. Biggest W imaginable for Maester Orwell.
So there's a reason why Alicent has decided, I'm going to leave the country with just Helena and Jaehaera. Like, Alicent is deciding, yeah, fuck men. I don't want to deal with men ever again. I'm only going to hang out with my daughter and my granddaughter from now on. That's what Alicent is doing. And she would like to bring Rhaenyra, you know? Like, Alicent, I think, has decided that every man in her life has brought nothing but horror, and so she's done with them.
Orwell hasn't.
Well, I mean, Alicent needs to get Orwell to smuggle her out, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that onion ring link.
Yeah.
We need to keep using that smuggling expertise to get Alicent out of here.
Alicent is very fortunate that the one normal person came in. Gerardus and Celtigar are still trying to delay Rhaenyra after all of that. And Celtigar says, this reeks of a snare, this is a trap. Okay, fine, I'll die, whatever, who fucking cares anymore?
Yeah, I like how it's taken the death of Jace to make Rhaenyra just unstoppable.
Finally do it. Should have been the finale.
You do get a bit of the sense of like a suicide mission. Like Rhaenyra is at the point where she's just lost her son. She really, truly does think like, yeah, if this is a trap, if I do die, then fuck it. Like I want to get this over with.
Either Alicent wasn't lying and I get the city, or she was lying and I get to die.
I love how Rhaenyra just shouts over her shoulder, "Oh, kill Laurent."
Yes,
by the way, I don't care how, just do it.
It is so irrelevant to her. Like, oh, fuck it. Let him die however he wants. Not my problem. All that matters is he's like paid for what he's done.
I really enjoy Mysaria of all people handing Rhaenyra her crown. And I like Mysaria saying, "Remember which one of us has been faithful." And she says that like in front of Daemon. And Daemon gives her this look of like, yeah, I see you trying to like get between me and my wife.
Yeah, but like which one of us is going right now? Which one of us is going to win the capital for her?
It's very funny that like Rhaenyra is like...
The answer is Alicent.
Rhaenyra is waging the war for the throne, and Daemon and Mysaria are waging the war for Rhaenyra's affections. A war which, neither of them will ultimately win, I suspect. They are acknowledging that Rhaenyra is choosing to take a big risk here. It's
Rhaenyra, her suicide mission.
Yeah, Rhaenyra is saying, I know this might be a trap. Fuck it. This is my choice. So
we ball.
Yeah, I dig that. And also, I guess they're trying to act right now because Aemond just left.
Yes.
So time is of the essence, so there isn't necessarily time.
Yeah, I cannot believe that I'm standing here talking to Gerardus and Celtigar when Aemond is leaving King's Landing. We have to go right this fucking moment.
Daemon is mean to Ulf and Hugh again.
Principal Daemon.
There's this pained face when Ulf is intimidated and bullied by Daemon. And it makes me think of Ulf's story about the priest who abused him.
Mm-hmm.
Ulf has experienced being exploited and manipulated by a more powerful man before. And I wonder if some of that is coming up when Daemon is rude to him and intimidating him.
Ulf said that the story that priest who groomed him told him about his dragon blood, he believed that because it made him feel special, and now he knows that it must be true in some capacity, but now he's amongst those who have dragon blood and he's still being demeaned and abused.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with Rhaena. His dream comes true, he gets the dragon, and it sucks, actually.
It's the same thing with Rhaenyra, actually. Her dream comes true, she sits the throne, and whoops,
yeah.
I've pissed off my best friend.
Yeah, it's a story of every other character in this world, which is, wouldn't it be cool to have power? Oh, wait, it sucks to have power.
I accidentally killed my nephew. You boys better not fuck up again. Truly beautiful shots as the dragons fly over the ruins of the gullet.
I'm so fucking stoked that Helena is hanging out with bugs again.
In the Godswood.
Yeah. It's so fucked that, someone just tried to rape Alicent and she doesn't get to process it or do anything about it or handle it in any way. She just immediately has to continue dealing with all this shit.
She's in go mode, yeah.
So Alicent finds Helena, who is playing with bugs in the Godswood.
Having an autistic caterpillar moment.
Back in season 1 when she was hanging out with millipedes and such.
She was hanging out with bugs in season 2. That she had cages in her room and she was talking about how some of her crickets stopped singing or something like that. I do like when Alicent asks, what would you like to do with your life, Helena? And she takes a moment as if oh shit.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. No one's ever asked me that before.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that.
It's also very pointed that Alicent asks that of Helena when Otto, I said it earlier. Alicent said, well, how the fuck would I know what I wanted? You never asked me. You just told me what I wanted. The little smile Olivia Cook gives after Helena says she'd like to keep chickens. That does that not add years back to your life?
This is the first time we've seen Alicent feel joy with her children. We have never had a scene before where Alicent has felt so much love and joy with one of her children. All of her scenes with her children prior have been anger and frustration and abuse and misunderstanding.
Even as far back as season 1, episode 3, when she's holding Aegon as a toddler. She's not happy about it.
Yeah.
And then in the next episode, when she's holding little Helena, bouncing her up and down, she is not happy.
Yeah.
She doesn't like that kid. But now she's talking to her, actually asking her what her life should be like. And oh my God, you're nice. I like you.
There's a moment of understanding here that's fucking beautiful.
Alicent goes up to the Scorpions to tell the soldiers to stand down, and she uses Helena's power to do that. So, she's also, in this moment of, actual human connection with her child, she's also still, sort of abusing her political position for her own ends.
Yeah, it's
Those
true.
ends are freedom for both of us, but that's still what's happening. Dude, 45 minutes after Jasper Wilde tried to rape her, Alicent's daughter told her, I would like to keep chickens. And, I think that's what she needed to hear, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds a lot better than what we've been doing here.
Yeah, Alicent is having one of those moments of clarity where she's like, oh, I wasted the best decades of my life on bullshit. Fuck.
We've all been there, Alicent. Don't beat yourself up.
We've all been there.
It bothers me that that Alicent invokes Daemon when talking with the Scorpion guards on the walls, but not with the City Watch.
Yeah, you're so
She
right.
says Prince Daemon is coming to Sir Frederick,
Yeah.
but not to Luther Largent, who knows Daemon.
Yeah, that's so fucking
Why is she
stupid.
saying this to her own household guard who wear the green sigil and the high tower sigil? When the fucking gold... Daemon gave them the gold cloaks. Tell them that Daemon's coming. Hey, your best friend Daemon Targaryen is coming. Do you want to help him or not?
Aemond on Vhagar flies over Kristen and Gwain's army of Crownlanders, and they march onwards towards Harrenhal.
Last episode, we got a it's all over moment between Gwain and Kristen, whereas this appears to be more of a we're so fucking back.
So Aemond comes to Harrenhal, and I'm so stoked that the bats fly away when the dragon arrives.
Yeah, man. So Vhagar actually missed out on the first burning of Harrenhal. It was only Balerion and Aegon the Conqueror.
Yeah.
So she's probably really stoked that she gets to do this now.
All these shots of like Vhagar burning Harrenhal look sick. They look exactly as sick as they should look, which is a lot.
So obviously, Aemond's conquest of Harrenhal is what Daemon wanted his conquest of Harrenhal to be.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I think Daemon wanted a fight, and I think neither Daemon nor Aemond really get
Satisfaction.
a fight. Like, satisfaction, yeah. Because, like, a few people fight back against Aemond, but, like, they all seem like chumps, and ultimately Aemond gets wounded. Like, I think he wanted, like, an epic duel against, like, a cool, strong knight, and...
Instead, he killed an old man and a few gormless dimwits. Look, I think this is more in line with what Daemon wanted than what Daemon actually got.
Yeah, no,
which
you're
was
right.
bats, nothing, rain, goose, poisoned peas. Aemond at least gets to kill a shitload of people. And they are Daemon's men.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
he probably feels pretty good about that.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, you're right. Aemond is pretty stoked because he does look very cool, and he knows he looks very cool. Like with his sword and his dagger, he's dual wielding. I believe this is what the kids call aura farming.
His helmet has little spikes that look like cat ears. It's quite cute. Aemond minces on into the Harrenhal dining room, expecting to duel with Daemon. That's what he wanted. He wanted to duel with Daemon, right?
Yeah. He comes in like a video game character. He comes in like he's a video game playing on easy mode, and he's just killing these goons one by one. And what he wants now is a boss battle.
Yeah.
And the boss battle he wants is Daemon. But what he gets is Simon Strong at the dinner table, who has apparently been sitting here with his gormless sons, continuing their luncheon while they can hear the screams of their men being burned outside.
Regular Thursday evening for Harrenhal.
The ghosts of the burning sons of Harren the Black do canonically walk these halls.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a normal Tuesday to hear ghosts screaming and burning outside.
Nothing new. You might not even notice the dragon.
I mean, it might be that Simon Strong is a little bit of a greenseer himself. Like, he might be a little bit connected to this magic and he's just kind of cool with it, you know? Like, he just doesn't have delusions of grandeur. He's just like, I mean, he's like Helena. He's like, I like to keep chickens, you know? I like fresh eggs.
Totally. He likes the goose. What is it with him asking any other way of satisfaction for Aemond?
It seems a little bit like Simon Strong might like to have sex with a blonde.
Or is he offering him his gormless sons as payment for not killing him?
His harem of gormless
It's
dimwits.
just so disarming for Aemond.
I offer you my most nubile dimwit in a marriage pact. Simon Strong's death is heartbreaking.
Ugh.
It's perfectly performed. It makes me very sad.
The last words he says are, "There's nothing to stop you." Aemond might believe that. Although he was just stopped by a dimwit with a dagger.
It's the most embarrassing thing to happen to Aemond, to get stabbed in the back by one of the gormless dimwits. Like, the reason why Aemond is so pissed is not that he might die, it's that he might die because of a gormless dimwit Strong. If Aemond was mortally wounded by Daemon,
With
Aemond
Dark
would be
Sister?
like, yeah, this is awesome. This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But he's being killed by this nameless dweeb, and he's like, oh, fuck. This is not how I wanted to go out. I love Ewan Mitchell's performance when he's like scrabbling around in the floor.
He looks
In
so
his
pathetic.
full plate armor, but just like the physicality and the slipperiness, and it's pathetic and it's strong and he's dangerous and incredible physical performance. So Aemond begs Alice to help him.
Wow.
What happened to the last man who was in the medical care of Alice Rivers?
Well, he just conquered King's Landing, so he'll be fine. Oh, you mean Grover Tully?
The last person who Alice
dead.
gave healthcare to was Grover Tully.
Nah, he died.
And he immediately died.
Yeah. In fact, it seems that that's what she wanted to do.
Alice assassinated Grover Tully to help Damon and Team Black. Alice could kill Aemond to help Team Black. That would make sense from what we know about her currently.
Remember, Damon said to Alice, I pray that you never meet Aemond One-Eye. He's like to kill you. But then, Damon just told Alice to pretty much go get fucked when she asked him and Rhaenyra for Harrenhal. So maybe Alice is looking at Aemond and seeing an opportunity.
Yeah. Which, again, I hope that Alice was not shocked that Damon said, no, you can't have Harrenhal, because she shouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, it really doesn't make much sense.
But yeah, I think Alice knows how to handle someone like Aemond. She's met more than a few like him in her many years as a barn owl.
Also note that Aemond scrambling on the floor asks Alice Rivers for help. It took Daemon Targaryen 3 or 4 nightmares before he ever asked Alice Rivers for help. So in addition to speedrunning the conquest of Harrenhal, Aemond's also speedrunning the psychotherapy at Harrenhal.
Yeah, true.
Also, Simon Strong says that the army has decamped. And dude, of course the army has decamped. You're not in it anymore. Get it? Because he's so camp.
Hey. Yeah, no, I think Simon is a little fruity.
He's definitely fruity.
He's a little fruity.
Have you seen the way he dresses?
It is pretty fucking magnificent. And it's Aemond could be performing confidence while actually being terrified inside.
Yeah.
Maybe that's more how they should have played that. Maybe that is how we're meant to see this.
Oh, definitely. I mean, he's a pathetic little boy scrambling and begging for help at the end of the scene.
Well, I love how his armor, it goes from seeming so cool and strong to a pathetic impediment that is preventing him from being able to even stand up. His armor seems so great, but his armor doesn't save him from the blow, and his armor just looks ridiculous when he's scrabbling around, bonking on the floor. So Rhaenyra and Daemon and Ulf and Hugh come to King's Landing on their dragons. And in King's Landing, the people are afraid and run around. And
this must be terrifying.
We see Sylvie, the sex worker, who had a relationship with Aemond. And we see Clay and Muja, who are the drinking buddies of Ulf, who peer pressured him into claiming this dragon that he's now riding. And we also see Kat, the wife of Hugh. So a lot of people who are close to the dragon riders are here.
Yeah, we're reminded of the dragon riders' connections to King's Landing.
And we see the men manning the scorpions, and
that's what men do. They man.
Women, we man. It's all.
Who knows what non-binary people do?
They non-bine. And Sir Frederick abandons the scorpions, and so they don't shoot at the dragons. Again, it is really fucking silly that Rhaenyra and Daemon don't talk about, hey, how are we going to deal with the scorpions? Jace's dragon was killed with a grapnel from a ballista yesterday. Should we talk about what we'll do if that happens to us?
No, I'll be fine.
I don't talk about it.
Well, Rhaenyra's on a suicide mission.
Because that's one of the other fun tensions of this episode is that we're okay, Daemon says that he's cool with Rhaenyra having the throne, but is he really? There's that really great handhold before they go into the throne room where it's okay, maybe there's still some tension there. So... But, as I said, I do like that they're emphasizing the scorpions here because that's something that, to me, it makes sense that Alicent could do that. And that genuinely helps Rhaenyra to get the scorpions to stand down. It just looks fucking glorious to see dragons flying over King's Landing.
It's fantastic.
As well. Because, we imagined this for, the entirety of Game of Thrones airing.
So Rhaenyra lands on the walls of the Red Keep, and you're not going to believe this, but Syrax lands on this is the stuff balcony. That's the this is the stuff balcony.
This is the stuff, Lionel.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, they've done a great job of preserving those locations. Yeah, and so when Daemon yells, this is our house, get out of our house, it's it is their fucking house. We've seen them grow up here for the past 3 seasons. Yeah, they've done a really good job of preserving that continuity of place.
This is the stuff.
We can't help but compare this to Game of Thrones when Daenerys comes to King's Landing and burns King's Landing.
I could help but compare it to that.
Well,
I wasn't going to.
I can't help. Because one of the big problems of Game of Thrones Season 8 is that Daenerys kept saying, I want to take King's Landing, but it's impossible to take King's Landing without burning King's Landing with dragons.
Crazy stuff just happening on my screen right now.
Yeah, they're taking King's Landing with dragons and they're not burning King's Landing. And it was always something that like it just never made sense in Game of Thrones. And here they're like, no, this is how it might actually play out. Like you could just take King's Landing. And yes, you will maybe have to do some fighting inside the Red Keep, but like you can just do this, Danny. You can just do this. But yeah, this looks fucking great. I love the visuals of this sequence. Like again, like I don't like all of the plot choices, but like the visuals and the production design and the sound effects and the props are so beautifully done in this show consistently.
I do love seeing all of those green soldiers just whipping their swords out and no, I'm not going to fight today. Not doing that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, even if Alicent hadn't gone around commanding people to surrender, I mean, surely a lot of them these guys would have surrendered anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going to die for this. Are you fucking kidding? I fucking love when Rhaenyra and Daemon just wander into Cersei Lannister's map room and the people who were just there are like, fuck. And they just like run away. It's great.
Oh, yeah, that is great.
So Daemon gets his video game moment of killing a shitload of the Green's men in the courtyard at King's Landing.
Yeah.
And like in the trailers, we were wondering what the tone of this is going to be because like we knew that Aegon's not here, Aemon's not here, Helena and Alicent are trying to flee, Otto's not around. Like we knew that there wasn't going to be some like boss battle for Daemon the way there's no boss battle for Aemond.
Yeah.
We were wondering like, are they going to play this as like a hollow victory where nothing actually happens, or like is it still going to be triumphant or whatever? What do you think has happened? What line have they walked?
I think that like my fear when we were talking before was that it would feel video gamey and stupid and they would expect us to think it's cool when it's actually kind of hollow. And I do feel it is a bit stupid and video gamey. I think that what I like about this sequence is Rhaenyra. Like what's interesting about this sequence is that Daemon is being this badass Targaryen warrior man killing all these people, and Rhaenyra is standing there with a sword,
not knowing
watching,
yeah.
And she's being like, I don't know how to do that. I wish I could do that, but I can't.
No one taught me that move.
Yeah, so I do really like Rhaenyra's journey and the way that she's like sort of confronting, okay, like what does it mean for me to like act with the heart of a king and to try and like be male? Like to what extent can I do
I guess
that?
I have to execute Otto Hightower.
And I like how Daemon gets satisfaction from this, like when he like faces Rickard and Rickard's men, and Daemon's like sort of counting, and he's like, okay, it's like 10 versus 1.
Probably gonna die.
Ooh, probably gonna die, but like I'll give it a go. And it's like I do like that for Daemon. Yeah, so I feel like there is meaning there, but I feel like in terms of like, I do feel like this is a stupid idea for Daemon and Rhaenyra to walk in with no help and decide to kill everyone one by one. Like it feels a bit fucking stupid. I mean, it is a fun comparison to Aemond though, because like we see Aemond fighting soldiers, then we see Daemon doing it, and we get the sense that yeah, Daemon's better at this. Like because Aemond gets put down by a gormless dweeb.
True.
With
Whereas
some cutlery.
Daemon's like, yeah, I'll try to fight 10 guys.
Yeah. Like if Aemond could see this, he'd be like, damn, like, you know, wish I could do this. The other thing that actually is really fucking stupid about this whole sequence is that we established in season 1 that Daemon and Rhaenyra know about the secret entrances to the Red Keep.
Right.
They know about the secret tunnels, and they know that it leads to Rhaenyra's room. And they obviously should have used those secret tunnels to get into the Red Keep.
Can you please stop saying secret tunnels? Don't do it. Don't do it. If you press that button. Fucking hell.
It's crazy that they don't use the secret tunnels because they've established the secret tunnels not only in season 1 but also in like season 2 with the rat catchers. So like they did so much groundwork for the gold cloaks, the secret tunnels, and I was like, well, all of this is going to pay off when Rhaenyra takes King's Landing. Like all of that's going to happen. But somehow Rhaenyra forgot about the secret tunnels. Daemon forgot about the gold cloaks. Mysaria forgot about her spies. Like, come on, like what are we doing? What are we doing?
It feels like we're doing the most obvious things, like straightforward sequence it could have possibly been, and yeah, not integrating all the things that were there.
Yeah, this is dumb stuff. This is dumb school.
Dum school.
Yeah, this is Dum School. I don't like it. The way to make this cool is lean in harder on this is a balls out, guns blazing suicide mission.
Yeah.
Lean into that. I want Rhaenyra to say, hey, Daemon, they've killed 2 of my sons, and if I have to spend 1 more fucking minute in this Council of Ditherers with Bartimus fucking Celtigar, I'm gonna jump off the fucking balcony. Let's get our dragons and party. I don't give a fuck. Let's go. Like, I want more of that energy.
Daemon opens the doors to the throne room and he's like, here you are, Rhaenyra. So that's nice. Like, he looks at the throne and he's like, that's for you.
But then he sort of grabs her hand.
Yeah.
And then she sort of leaves his grasp in a way that makes me think there's tension.
I agree. But also there's like, Rhaenyra lets go of Daemon to go to the throne. I think there is I don't want to say a lack of Viserys in this episode, but his absence is notable. And I hope that he will be very relevant in the coming episodes.
Well, he is dead, so give him a break.
Oh, he showed up last season, didn't he? And he was dead then.
I want Paddy Considine to be in every season of House of the Dragon.
That'd be so funny. I think they could do it.
I do like the sort of full circle of this moment. Like, we saw Daemon on the throne and Rhaenyra in the throne room with him in season 1. This feels like a nice full circle, and like they have...
Oh, she's not wearing the necklace he gave her that time. Oh, if only she was wearing the fucking necklace.
Yeah,
that'd be so fun.
That's a missed opportunity, for sure.
So was Rickard Thorne just like hanging out back there, organizing this entrance? Like, okay, you guys 5 from the left, and we're going to go around the right side.
It is a bit goofy the way they jump out at the last minute. It is like video gamey.
The cutscene starts when you enter a certain proximity of the location.
Yeah, Daemon is quite stoked to get to fight 12 men at once and to either be the coolest guy ever for winning or to be a pretty cool guy for trying anyway, you know?
And if he doesn't win, he won't have to deal with it. He'll be dead.
And yet, Rhaenyra drawing her sword and the men laughing at her is like kind of the whole thesis statement of this entire show as well, you know? Because like I really like how, you know, like a lesser show would have had Rhaenyra draw her sword and she's like, yeah, I get it.
Come at us.
And she does successfully kill a bunch of men. And it's like, yeah, girl power. Girls can do it too. But that's like the most kind of like pandering kind of feminism. Like, it's more interesting to show how this patriarchal world has not equipped Rhaenyra to operate in like this male way, even if she wanted to.
Hence the botched execution of Otto Hightower.
Yes, yes. And that's a much more like thoughtful and real way to think about gender rather than like a hashtag girl power insta ninja. Also, like you talked about the lack of Viserys. There's a statue of Viserys in this room.
Where the fuck is the statue of Viserys? Why aren't they? I mean, it's right there. Why aren't they showing it to us?
Paddy Considine's face is just up there on the statue. It is nuts that they're not showing us Paddy Considine's face looking down.
Where the fuck is the shot of Otto Hightower about to be executed? You see him kneeling, his face is all fucked up, he's got his scraggly beard, and behind him is Viserys looming over him. What the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah, that's like the biggest missed opportunity in cinema fucking history. They really fucked up Daemon's character by not having Daemon arrange the gold cloaks, I think.
Oh, I don't know if they fucked up his character so much as that's just a missed opportunity to integrate the plot they wanted to write with the character that existed.
That's me being dramatic and having a tantrum, but it's dumb school. I really like Rhaenyra's awkwardness with wielding a sword. Like, it feels very realistic to me that she's got some familiarity, but it's not super natural to her. I really like the physical performance here.
So Luther makes it sound like Daemon's past actions are what secured the throne for Rhaenyra, right? He gave me this gold cloak, so I'm here now today.
Yeah.
So who does Luther's loyalty belong to going forward, and who really has the power in Rhaenyra's new regime?
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting, fun questions I hope get explored.
Yeah, if Rhaenyra is only queen because her husband is bros with the police commissioner,
What's going to happen?
Problem.
What's going to happen when Rhaenyra sends Daemon to go deal with Sheepstealer in the Vale like she said she would do?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, does Daemon love his wife or does he love his brother's daughter?
Does he love his wife's access to power?
Yeah.
And to Viserys by proxy, yeah.
Yeah, the relationship still feels complex in a way that I think is great. So, Team Black finds out that Aegon and Larys disappeared. I think it would have been really fun if we, the audience, didn't know that Aegon and Larys left until after this moment.
Oh, but that really does stifle, like, Aemon's plot Alicent's plot. I think it would be very contrived to keep that information from the audience while all of those scenes about politicians in the Red Keep still have to happen, right? Daemon comes into Aegon's chambers and finds Orwyle, who's already, like, he knows what's about to happen. He says, he's not here, it's not fucking me, I'm sorry. And can people please stop trying to kill Orwyle?
I just want one episode where nobody threatens Orwyle.
So Daemon says that we've got to make some heads roll. That's just how this works. We've got to signify the end of that regime and the start of this one.
Yeah, they got to do politics.
Yeah. Loath as I am to strike down a maester, which I quite like. I like that he says that. Orwyle says that he has an offer to, like, he offers to give Daemon someone who might give him more satisfaction. So, like, I love the callback to what Simon Strong said to Aemond. I've been over that. I don't know why Orwyle thinks Daemon is interested in Jasper Wild. Have they ever mentioned each other? Have they ever interacted? I don't think so.
He's on the Green Council.
So is Orwyle.
Yeah,
but Orwyle's a maester.
But yeah, like maesters are meant to be outside of factional politics. It's like when Theon takes Winterfell and he keeps Maester Luwin. Because maesters are meant to be unaffiliated. They are bound to the castle. They serve the castle. I mean, in reality, the Grand Maester is a political position, and they are politically oriented. But it makes sense to me that Daemon would want to kill a Green Councilman.
I totally agree with that.
Jasper.
But this is, to me, it seems like it's framing Jasper Wild as some big win for Daemon, when it's like, who the fuck is Jasper Wild? Like, Daemon's never mentioned him before.
Yeah, so Alicent and Helena's daughter Jaehaera try to sneak out of King's Landing in the most conspicuous, extra bright blue Little Red Riding Hood that I've ever seen.
Compare them to the people in the background there in their grey drab, like, tunics or whatever.
Yeah.
They stand out like a couple of thumbs.
Yeah. And it's so pathetic that, yeah, like, Alicent and Helena and Jaehaera, like, they don't even have, like, one loyal man who they can convince to come with them to help them escape and survive.
Not even Rickard Thorne, who was Alicent's sworn protector.
Like, what is their plan? Are they going to walk out of King's Landing?
Yeah, then
to
what?
fucking Duskendale? Like, what is the plan here, guys?
As though there won't be massive search parties for Aegon's queen, mother, and daughter. Hey, it's Jaehaera.
Yeah, how many people watching this show know who Jaehaera is?
I remember Jaehaera.
I love how Daemon just assumes that, like, anyone in the Greens prison is a friend of his. You know, he just
let them all
release them out.
I don't care.
I love the physicality of armor in this episode. Like when Daemon clangs his gauntlet against the metal bars of Jasper's cage, and it's like, yeah, like, it is metal. It makes noise. It, like, there's a physicality here that we often don't see.
I enjoy how obnoxious Daemon is here.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking rude to go up and just, like, bang, 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 knock, knock, motherfucker.
Yeah, I love how smug Daemon is. He's been waiting for this for a while. Daemon threatens to cut off Jasper's cock.
Just for the fun of it.
Which is appropriate for a guy nicknamed Iron Rod and who tried to rape Alicent earlier. But there's also consistent with Daemon in season 1 when he was mutilating commoners, alleged criminals.
Yep.
And
he's back with the City Watch now.
Yeah, he's going back to his old behavior.
Is this who he is?
Daemon enjoys mutilating people. It's something that's established in the show and the book, and here he is threatening to do it again.
Jasper assumes that Daemon's presence here is Alicent's doing. Which it sort of is, I guess. But also, like, the fucking audacity to insult the woman you just tried to rape.
So then this weirdo jailer comes up and says, I have a gift from Lord Larys Strong. And he's wearing, like, a Halloween costume store medieval peasant garb. Unisex, one size fits all.
Hit up the spirit Halloween.
He looks like he walked out of, like, a 90s fantasy direct to VHS fantasy show. I love it.
He looks like he's a side character from Game of Thrones, if I'm honest.
He's so goofy. I love him. He looks like he's never seen sunlight.
All right, yeah, and he has a gift for Daemon from Larys Strong. So Larys has a contingency for if the Blacks take King's Landing, give them Otto. So, like, Larys had to have organized this with his jailers in the Black cells.
Yeah.
To give Otto to Daemon if the Blacks come, to make Daemon happy so he doesn't kill me. If I ever come back to King's Landing.
Yeah, he's playing both sides. But it's a reminder that, like, if this guy at the Red Keep is working for Laris, how many other people inside the Red Keep are still working for Laris? Yeah, so we find out that Otto Hightower has been in the deep dark cells of the Red Keep all along. He disappeared in season 2, episode 2.
Yeah.
And he's been missing ever since. And so, hilariously, it turns out that Laris captured him and stashed him in the Red Keep. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Funniest thing I ever saw.
He keeps posting bangers, that Laris.
He does keep posting bangers. But, like, you're so right. This would have been way better at the end of season 2. Because, like, again, like, many viewers will see Otto here and they're like, huh? Like, what? When did this? Who is this again? Like, it would have made so much more sense. But Otto comes back a season later to deliver like 2 lines and then dies, which is a little disappointing.
Yeah, there was so much more for this character to do. I like what they've done with what they've chosen to do, right? With the botched execution and Alicent walking in just as Otto has died and Rhaenyra has taken the throne. Like, that's so dramatic. Daemon's cackle upon seeing Otto in the prison is fucking brilliant. That is great. And it like further draws into question, has Daemon changed at all? Because this is what he wanted from the very beginning.
And this is what Otto was trying to avoid from the very beginning.
I love the way Daemon announces that he has Otto.
Oh, Daemon's having so much fun.
Calling Otto a rat, which he has done in the past, mind you. Look at the rat Daemon's caught. It's Otto's nightmare. I love that Otto assumes everyone else is dead. Because no, none of his family are dead, except for Jaehaerys, who died before he was imprisoned.
Yeah, well, he kind of wants to believe that it's too late to do anything. But in actual fact, like, if Otto had played his cards differently, there is still hope. Like, he wants to believe that if he's doomed, their entire cause is doomed, but it's not. Like, it lives on after you.
Otto, you're actually, like, sort of first blood.
Yeah, you're kind of the chump, Otto, actually.
What an insult for Otto to insist that Daemon kill him.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm Rhaenyra, I hear that and it's like, fucking how dare you?
Well, I mean, obviously Rhaenyra just should let Daemon swing the sword because he knows how to, but it is a great way of highlighting this question of, like, is Rhaenyra able to do the things that she needs to do to rule?
I'm surprised that the Greens banners are still up behind the throne.
Yeah, you'd think someone would tear them down right quick.
Yeah, when Rhaenyra sits on the throne, Aegon's banners are still behind her. It makes sense for someone to have just ripped those down immediately. Why would you have Otto say, if your father could see what this has come to, he never would have imagined it, if you're not going to show us the Viserys statue?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that is a missed opportunity.
Also, Otto, you did this.
Well, that's a missed opportunity. Like, it's crazy to me that Rhaenyra or Daemon don't say, like, hey, like, Otto, like, you did this. You need to face some responsibility for the years of scheming that created this war. But,
Rhaenyra is forced to kill a sacrificial symbol to make herself legitimate as a ruler, right?
Yeah.
In season 1, Viserys had to kill a stag.
Yeah.
And he also botched that execution.
Yeah.
And that was a bad omen of his rule.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. Otto is the stag.
And at that time, Rhaenyra was presented with a white stag, and Kristen was like, you want me to kill it? And Rhaenyra said, no, let it go. So how far we've come, you know?
Well, Rhaenyra killed that boar.
Yes.
And Daemon killed that crab. So, I mean, that muddies the metaphor a bit, doesn't it?
But Otto's a rat, not a crab. And Laris is a toad. And Tyland is a peacock.
It's all fucking menagerie, isn't it?
Daemon tells Rhaenyra that when she executes Otto, she will become queen. Of course, Daemon equates doing a violence, doing a murder with power. Like, that's what cements you as being powerful.
I mean, if Jace hadn't died yesterday, maybe Rhaenyra would be saying, hey, like, let's have a fucking conversation about trying to fix this situation that you have created, Otto. Like, let's have a talk. But since Rhaenyra is like, well, no one listens to me when I talk, so I have to act with the heart of a king and the sword of a killer. Like, that's what I got to do.
This is now what she understands to be her avenue to power. That's it. Like, she's tried everything else, hasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Genuinely, what else would you have her do?
So Rhaenyra swings the sword and fails to kill Otto right away. And we see quite a lot of snot dribbling out of Rhaenyra's face. And I think that's great.
Yeah, I love how ugly this is.
Yeah, it's not often that actors are allowed to look that sort of messy and icky. she's still like half weeping from the death of her son Jace, you know? And like also like Otto is someone who she knows. Like she hates Otto, but she's known Otto for a long time, and it's a fucked up thing to swing a sword through his neck.
Otto's been there her entire life. Otto insists that he did his best. And depending on what outcome he was pointed at, that might be true.
He sure had an impact.
Daemon hands Rhaenyra Dark Sister, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So at least Otto has the honor of being beheaded with Valyrian steel.
But,
Even though Valyrian steel cuts clean and it's supposed to be the sharpest and most, the badass of metals, Rhaenyra still finds a way to fuck it up.
yeah. Well, yeah, you can kind of see that her swing stops like before it really goes through Otto properly at all. So
She figures it out and off it goes. And you can see here, Daemon beheads Jasper Wild as though he's flicking a fly.
it is, like Jasper's last words are "Tell my lady wife, whatever." And it's like, Jasper was just trying to rape
the queen.
Alicent, and now he's talking about his wife. And it's like, man, like you can't, like you fucking can't, man.
If I don't make it out of this, tell my wife I said hello.
So Rhaenyra's bloody footprints are like her bloody footprints in season 1, except now it's someone else's blood instead of her own blood. Rhaenyra walks so slowly and awkwardly up to the throne. It looks like when her father Viserys walked so slowly and awkwardly up to the throne.
But this time, Daemon isn't there to like assist the monarch or give them the crown.
This time she walks alone.
And she sits alone. And I was waiting to see if she got a cut on the throne, because like that's an obvious omen in a particular direction of someone's rule of the Iron Throne. And Viserys got cuts on the Iron Throne as early as season 1, episode 1. And in the book, supposedly Rhaenyra gets a cut from the throne as soon as she sits it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they would have seen that if she's wearing armor, which she is. But anyway, that doesn't happen. But I do like that she's drenched in Otto's blood, her feet.
And tears and snot.
She's finally done it. She's taken the throne. Season 2 can end.
This, in a way, is a huge W for Alicent. Like, this whole episode, Alicent does succeed in undoing a lot of the damage that she caused. She does succeed in getting Rhaenyra on the throne.
She almost gets raped, but she did it.
She gets Aemond out of the city. She gets the Scorpions to stand down. She gets the City Watch to... Like,
she smiles because of Helena.
Yeah. She gets closer to her daughter Helena. Like, it is a huge triumph for Alicent.
As much as we said that this episode's title is Daemon Targaryen's Big Day, it's also Alicent Hightower's Big Day.
And it's Rhaenyra's big day. Like, it's so interesting that this is like the great victory for the main characters, but there's no fucking like joy in it.
I think the only person getting any joy out of this is Daemon.
Yeah.
And even for him, it's not entirely uncomplicated.
Yeah. All these characters get the victory they hoped for so long, but it's also fucked up and not worth it. So Alicent comes in and sees Otto dead, and seems like Alicent might be a bit cross with with Rhaenyra. But like, also like, what the fuck does Alicent expect? Like, Alicent must understand that Otto has to die if he's not already dead.
I think it's just like, oh, I didn't know that was gonna happen. I mean, obviously there's a lot more going on. My dad is fucking dead. That's a lot to take in. In the past, like, the rift was, you had sex with Kristen, you lied to me, your son killed my son, your husband killed my grandson, but now it's, you killed my dad.
Yeah, it's more,
I don't know if I don't know if they can surpass that.
It's more personal now. Which, like, is...
Did you think it could get more personal than it already was?
Well, yeah,
Holy shit.
I mean, let's not forget when Alicent said, "Bring me the eye of Rhaenyra's son Luke," and Alicent slashed Rhaenyra's arm, and...
It was already pretty personal, and yet somehow it's even more personal now.
Yeah. I mean, the two great divergences from the books right now are Rhaenyra and Sheepstealer, but then it's Rhaenyra and Alicent's relationship. And this is one of these things where I'm very curious where it goes, because it's like, will Rhaenyra cut off Alicent's head, lock her in the dungeons, or will they
invite
have
her into
something
her
more
bed?
Complicated?
Yeah.
So who knows where it's going?
A lot happens in this episode. Not much wasted time, I think.
Yeah. Well, you got to cover a lot of ground in a season finale.
Yeah. Nary a dull moment, I should say.
Yeah.
What did you think overall?
Yeah, I think it's a good episode. I have mixed feelings about the Alicent plot. I feel like Baela's doing nothing and Alan is moving glacially. I think Aegon and Larys are fun. I think Aemond at Harrenhal was great and like promises much. I'm gonna be lighting a candle at my Simon Strong shrine tonight,
and all other nights to come.
Rhaenyra's grief for Jace was just powerful,
haunting
acting.
Yep. You liked Rhaena and Jane. I remember you saying that. You liked that.
Yeah, I do like Rhaena and Jane so far. I think that it makes sense for both their characters, and I'm curious to see where it goes.
The standout character for me this episode is Daemon. I just loved Daemon doing things.
Yeah, I could watch Daemon doing things all day, and have
all day.
All day. It was Daemon Day.
I also I liked this episode, and we did complain about it for however many hours just now. And a lot of what we point out is like what we think could have happened also. Like just more. Just there's so much juice to these stakes.
Yeah, I mean, when we're saying this should have happened, that should have happened, I don't want that interpreted as we reckon we can write better than the writers.
Fuck no.
I mean it as this show is sparking our imagination.
Yes. Here's an idea I had because the show made me believe in these characters, and I think they would do this.
I think using one's imagination is a fun, cool thing to do. But of course, also there are some things about the show that I think are fucking stupid and could have been done better.
Dum School.
It's a Dum School. Yeah, Dum School moment for sure. What do you feel overall?
I'm tired, man.
This has been an extraordinarily lengthy episode of Dragon Time. We're going to wrap it up. I think it has. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate...
Wait, what's the episode called?
What's the episode called? Fuck, man. It's just called Fuck, man.
I doubt that. Daemon Targaryen's big day out. No, probably not.
What about Sheep Stealer has second thoughts?
Well, like the central plot point of this episode is the fall of King's Landing. But if they call it that, then... No, they could call it that.
It could be called The Red Keep.
It could be called that.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Dragon Time.
Thank you for talking through this episode of Dragon Time. Because that's what you did.
Yeah. No,
I don't know why you're saying that I listened to it. Well, you're talking to the audience. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dragon Time.
Thank y'all. We appreciate you listening on Nebula. You can listen to this on podcast feeds if you would like. You can get the exclusive Nebula podcast feed to listen to the full versions of Dragon Time in the podcast app of your choice if you would like. Link in the description.
What is this fell technology of which you speak?
Podcasts?
Feeds? RSS feeds? I know not of what you speak, Kerr.
What manner of witchery is this? And... there's lots of other exclusive stuff you can listen to, such as the fake Jon Snow, our 22-hour discussion of Kit Harington.
Hey, our Season 1 House of the Dragon discussions are exclusive to Patreon and Nebula, aren't they?
Yeah. So check it out, and we'll see you next week for the next installment of Lizard Hour.
Oh my god. This just feels so much like a finale that I forgot that there's 6 more of them to come.
Well, look, see, that's the thing. Like, this was the end of season 2, which means we're now starting season 3. Except season 3 is 6 episodes long.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting challenge.
It's a little concerning.
It means that they now have 14 episodes to finish the show. Which sounds like not a lot of episodes considering how many characters and plots there are to cover. So it's going to be a busy 14 episodes, I should think.
For me, it's just going to be weird to like remember what happened in season 3, because in my head, everything we just watched in those 2 episodes was in season 2. Because it definitely should have been.
Yeehaw.
Dragons. Super long spoiler zone today, so I put it all at the end. Hope you don't mind. Enjoy. Have a fun spoiler zone.
Alan Velaryon. He becomes a Velaryon. He becomes the Lord of Driftmark. He marries Baela.
Whoa.
And Alan has like an interesting life where he's this badass naval war hero.
He's
and he travels
2.0.
around. He marries Baela, but like he has affairs with a bunch of other women.
He's Corlys 2.0. He marries a Targaryen princess with a dragon, has affairs, does adventure sailor stuff. He's Corlys.
He's Corlys, but like cool, fun, young Corlys.
Yeah.
Because like book Corlys. Because I feel like we've never quite seen like fun, adventurous Corlys in this show. Because what we see in this show is old Corlys. You know, like I don't quite get the sense of the adventurer in Corlys as much.
Teddy Roosevelt.
But nor do I see it in Alan. Like, Alan should be young, adventurous, and bold, and like a player, and we see none of that with Abubakar Salim.
Well, that's if you want to directly adapt the character's vibe from the book. I think they put the ambition of Alan into Adam. Because like there are several conversations in season 2 between them where it's very clear that Alan wants to remain humble. He wants a quiet life, whereas Adam is the one who wanted to go out and make a name for himself.
So yeah, I was just sort of struck by how different Alan in the show is compared to how he feels in the book. And of course, like the book story is not going to appear in this show.
Yeah.
So they're telling a different story here in the show. I wonder about Damon and Aemond, because Damon, it seems, has done some growth and matured and become a bit more humble. I wonder if he will stay that way. And I wonder if ultimately Damon will die thinking he's done the right thing. I wonder if Damon will die thinking, I have put Rhaenyra on the throne. I have helped Rhaena become a better dragon rider. And now I die killing Aemond. I have fulfilled my purpose. I have atoned as much as it is possible for me to atone. I wonder if Damon will die happy, while Aemond will go through the Alice Rivers psychotherapy clinic and will fail and will like not be able to deal with his issues.
He'll die angry and vengeful and as though he hasn't fulfilled anything.
Yeah, I think that would be an interesting angle on Damon and Aemond, because like the other angle is like they both die pointlessly and self-destructively and it adds up to nothing, or they can like both be like, we have both grown and matured and we are both great and we must die together honorably. But it might be more interesting if there's like an asymmetry to it.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it would be better if these characters who are so often juxtaposed and compared and paralleled as being two sides of the same dick, if at the very end of it, Damon has come full circle and Aemond is just self-destructive to his total demise.
Are they going to be mirror images or are they going to be different? And I think being different is more interesting because ultimately, like, Damon is like 30 years older than Aemond. They can't be equal. They can't be the same. And like, it's not fair for Aemond. It's not fair that Aemond has to face all of this without the age and experience and wisdom of being older. So maybe we're going to kind of feel sorry for Aemond for being such a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
At the same time as we're feeling maybe a little bit proud for Damon for being a bit less of an idiot than how he started.
I think it could be that Damon's death is like the one truly uncompromised, unproblematic, heroic act of his life.
Yeah.
That might be it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also kind of the Jaime Lannister thing where like maybe Rhaenyra will hate Daemon.
Oh, definitely.
Like Rhaenyra's going to go, Daemon just like abandoned me and disappeared.
To die pointlessly with Aemond because he wanted some like power fantasy where he dies in a stupid war. When actually, Daemon has done the most heroic thing he possibly can, self-sacrifice to stop the evil monster. The exact same thing Jaime Lannister does.
And successfully like doing something for Rhaena and like being close to the daughter that he neglected. And like,
redeeming himself in the eyes of Laena's memory, right?
And at the end of the day, someone had to kill Vhagar.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't think there's a possible way that you can demonstrate Daemon's death as pointless, because if no one killed Aemond and Vhagar, they were just going to keep doing that.
Yeah. And like the other angle here is Alice Rivers. Like I think that
the old gods, blood, weirwood stuff going on at the God's Eye.
Because we'll get to it, but it's very, very interesting that Alice demanded Harrenhal this episode and Damon said, nah, you're not getting Harrenhal. And I kind of have mixed feelings about Alice because I feel like what they might be going for is that now that Damon has rebuffed Alice, Alice will be like, well, fuck you then. I'm going to orchestrate your downfall. Like, because so far it seemed like Alice is helping Team Black. I feel like if Alice gets pissed that Damon said no about Harrenhal, and then Alice decides to help Aemond and Team Green instead.
Now that Aemond has just surreptitiously stumbled into Harrenhal at that exact point in time,
Yeah, I feel like that's going to feel like contrived and petty because like, what the fuck did Alice think Daemon was going to say? Of course Daemon wasn't going to give Alice Harrenhal. Alice can't not know that. So I really hope that Alice's whole like goal and alignment doesn't suddenly change out of nowhere as a result of that one conversation. I would prefer for Alice to be a little bit more savvy than that. Alice last season, she was trying to advocate for the small folk. She was trying to say, stop doing war crimes. So she's got to be opposed to Aemond because all he does is burn the Riverlands for the rest of the fucking story. I feel like Alice has to be opposed to Aemond ultimately, and might try to change his mind and change him for the better. But I think that Alice is probably going to orchestrate Aemond and Daemon's deaths.
Yeah. It does sort of feel like now that Alice has been turned down for receiving Harrenhal, which she feels like is her spirit. Like, she needs Harrenhal. She compares it to food.
Yeah. I loved that line.
Yes, it was great. Now that she's been denied that, she's going on a different path, which, yeah, I don't know if I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, and my other concern is that, like, if Alice orchestrates the deaths of Aemond and Daemon, like I do like the idea of the old gods consuming the dragons. Like, Vhagar and Caraxes and Aemond and Daemon sinking into the god's eye as a victory for the old gods over the dragon lords. Like, I do love that.
As
like,
a blood sacrifice to the Riverlands, as repayment for all of the carnage that Aemond and Daemon have wrought.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. But if it feels like Daemon and Aemond's deaths were all preordained and it's all magical destiny, I think that undercuts Daemon and Aemond as characters
As
with
people,
agency.
as humans.
So I think it's a really, like, tough thing to balance.
Well, yeah, I don't know. In season 2, episode 3, Alice does say to Daemon that you will die in this place. So I think that may have already been set in motion.
Yeah.
I think it might be too late to not be worried about that.
Yeah, well, I hope they do it and preserve the agency of the character.
Yeah, I hope that whatever Alice does, it's because she as a human feels a certain way, and I hope that that way is consistent with the character we've been demonstrated so far. That's really all it comes down to for me.
Right, so when Alice says, "Remember what I told you," she's referring to when Alice told Daemon that he'll die at Harrenhal.
I believe so, yes.
So Daemon is defying Alice by coming to Harrenhal and dying.
Yeah.
So maybe Alice doesn't want Daemon to die.
She's not trying to orchestrate that battle.
I've got a bad feeling that Alice's motivations are not ultimately going to make much sense.
That is the trend with characters like her in these shows.
Yeah, like, it's really easy to make a character seem mysterious and to make you guess, what are their motivations?
Yeah.
And sometimes the answer is they have no consistent motivations.
Yeah,
they don't make sense.
That's absolutely Littlefinger. It's Bloodraven in Game of Thrones.
Like,
it's
lots
the
of, like,
Night
mystery
King.
box storytelling in general has that crap.
It's very disappointing in the end.
So I've got a little bit of a bad feeling about, like, what they're doing with Alice.
I think we'll find out what's going on in the remainder of this season, like, as we see Alice interact with Aemond, right?
Yeah, that will be telling.
Because here, like, I think it makes sense that Alice wants Harrenhal.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense, but asking so brazenly for Daemon to get Rhaenyra to give it to her, like, maybe that's just because Alice is, like, naive when it comes to these things, or maybe it's just her being brazen. I don't know. Also, Baylor keeps saying Corlys just doesn't die, man. Like, people think he's dead, and he's not dead. He just never is fucking dead, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, spoiler zone, but Corlys is gonna die soon. And everyone talking about his invulnerability and how, you know, he survives all these battles. He survives everything. But at the end of the day, you can't survive time, man. You can't survive aging.
Well, what do you mean by soon? Because Corlys outlives most of the other people in this story.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess I think that Corlys should die, like, at the end of season 4.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. And, like, we see a proud, triumphant Alan. Like, you know, he's lost a lot, but also he's become who he should have been, you know?
Yeah. And if we move into the spoiler zone, like, you know, what's going to happen from here is that Rhaenyra is going to suspect Adam of treason and is going to try and arrest Adam. And so Corlys is going to defy Rhaenyra and will free Adam. And then Corlys will be arrested by Rhaenyra. So, like, this cute little family has their bonds tested by Rhaenyra's suspicion and persecution.
Makes you wonder what the show is going to do with Baylor going forward. Because Baylor so far has been, like, pretty strictly loyal to Rhaenyra. I mean, she followed Jace in the last episode instead of freeing Rhaenyra, so, like, the girlies are not sticking together, it would seem.
Yeah.
But now it looks like she's going to side with her family, like the Velaryons.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, like, they're both Targaryens, so, like, Baylor's going to be torn, I think, which is fun.
Yeah, the other thing is that because Ulf and Hugh and Adam didn't stay and kill Vhagar, that means that Daemon has to kill Vhagar.
Yeah. I mean, someone else. Yes.
Someone has to kill Vega, and who the fuck do you think can handle?
Is Rhaenyra gonna do it?
Yeah.
You think Rhaenyra stuck in a bedroom is gonna kill Vega?
Yeah. You think fucking Sheep Stealer's gonna kill Vega? Like,
Give it a red hot, you know?
I mean, some small part of Daemon must know that
it's going to come down to him and Aemon.
there's a good chance that Daemon is going to be eaten by Vhagar at some point. Daemon knows that.
He used to think that was going to be really cool, but now he's not so sure, I think.
Well, the thing that's going to happen is that Daemon's going to suddenly realize way too late that his daughter Rhaena is really cool, actually. Or could have been if he was a better dad. And so I think Daemon's going to be like, oh, turns out I do have something to live for.
Yeah.
Because I actually believe in my wife, Queen Rhaenyra, and I actually kind of like my daughters, and so I have a reason to live now. And that's what's going to make it suck when he dies. I mean, spoiler zone, like, what happens in the books is that Daemon does seem friendly with Hugh and Ulf, because Daemon suggests that Hugh and Ulf should become lords. And in fact, Daemon suggests that Hugh and Ulf should become the lords of Highgarden and Storm's End.
Yeah.
So, like, Daemon is, like, radically
We
in
should elevate
favor.
these random commoners to paramount lordships.
Yeah, so I think in the books, Daemon is like, new dragon riders? Fuck yeah, dragon. Whereas here in the show, he's antagonizing them. You know, Alice, as it turns out, gives her psychotherapy clinic to any dysfunctional blonde who wanders through the woods of Harrenhal, and maybe Daemon is going to feel disappointed that he's not special.
What do you mean you did it for Aemond as well? What do you mean?
Well, I guess we're in the spoiler zone. Because, like, Aemond supposedly gets Alice pregnant. I'm really curious to see how Daemon reacts to that.
I wonder if that's going to be like, oh my god, Aemond, I'm suddenly almost about to give birth. It's yours.
Well, yeah.
Like the same way that Red was with Raymond in The Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, maybe it is Daemon's baby. Because, like, depending on what they do with the timeline.
Oh, I'm saying I'm not even Daemon's. I'm saying like Alice just conjures a baby to have because she's a fucking witch.
The father is Del.
Yeah. The father is the Green Man.
I want it to be like Melisandre birthing the Shadow Baby.
Yeah.
Where, like, she's suddenly, like, 9 months pregnant after, not showing pregnancy 5 minutes ago.
What if it is the same deal? Because Melisandre did that to kill Renly and Courtney Penrose too, I guess.
Yeah.
Who could Aemond want dead in, like, I don't think that it's going to play out the same way. I don't think it is a Melisandre Shadow Baby, but I do like the parallel.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Alice is a shadow binder.
Maybe Melisandre is Alice after all.
Why not?
I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, we need young people who are the hope and the future being in love. I mean, spoiler zone, Alan and Baylor eventually marry.
Yeah.
Alan and Baylor should be fucking. That's what I want. Because otherwise it's all just death and horror and rape.
Alan's such a seemingly stoic, unemotional, like he doesn't express his emotions very much.
Yeah.
It would be interesting if, that could be a good avenue for both of those characters. If Baylor can somehow like get Alan to actually be a human.
Yeah,
feel something.
Give me a reason to care about Alan and Baylor. Them having some kind of chemistry or romance or sex or love would make a lot of sense. I mean, Baylor's just lost her betrothed. Alan is, like, rethinking a lot of things.
And they are the
becoming a
young
Valerion.
people who are the future.
Kids are the future. Something to ponder. And the only other character who we see talking Valyrian is Aemond. It would be cool to see, like, you know what they must do? Spoiler zone. But, like, when Aemond faces Daemon, they must speak to each other in Valyrian before they kill each other.
Yeah.
Because we need to be reminded that they are, in some sense, the same. And they have this sacred special thing. And this sacred special thing has led not to their victory, but to their annihilation.
So Alice...
What more perfect Valyrian thing? Like, since the doom of Valyria, we have seen that Valyrian sorcery leads to self-destruction. So, of course, Daemon and Aemond, the most Valyrian of all the Valyrians, have to be Valyrian as they destroy each other.
So Alice Rivers is present for the final confrontation of Daemon and Aemond, right?
Yeah.
In the book, at least. So let's say Aemond and Daemon talk High Valyrian to each other in some part so that Alice can't listen to them.
Yeah.
I like this idea because either, like, this is our way of not being corrupted by that witch, or Alice can speak High Valyrian,
Yeah.
and says, "Do you think this is anything new? Like,
Yeah.
do you think you're special?
Yeah.
Of course you were going to do this. You're Valyrians. You're going to get, like, it's in your nature to kill each other. You're
Yeah.
dragon riders. Like, by nature, you will destroy."
I'm just like imagining in my head like Alice singing that Valyrian song that Daemon and
Ooh.
Rhaena sing as Aemond and
As
Daemon,
Caraxes tries to struggle his way out of the God's Eye, as his blood seeps into the soil of the weirwoods, as the weirwood comes back to life with the dragon's blood, and she sings the song that tames the dragons, as she has just tamed the dragons by killing them.
Yes, she tamed Daemon and Aemond.
And she
tamed Caraxes and Vhagar.
And Alice's corporeal form disappears as her life goes back into the weirwood grove from whence she came.
What are the chances of Aemond and Daemon having sex before the end of this show? Non-zero. Isn't the ultimate incest having sex with the person who looks identical to you?
Do you think that's why Daemon fantasized, had a nightmare about himself with Aemon's eye patch? Do you think so? During the battle above the God's Eye, Daemon will jump from Caraxes onto Vhagar. It will be the coolest thing I've ever seen. And he will come.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll both come, actually.
Do you think it'll be slow motion? Like, I've been thinking for years about, like, how will they do that shot?
It has to be so drawn out. It has to be vainglorious and indulgent, right?
Because it's during,
it has to be from 7 different angles.
It's during, like, a storm, right, at night. So, like, visibility is going to be tricky. Like, they've got to find ways to make it possible for us to see what the fuck is going on.
By dragon fire. There will be lightning.
Yeah.
It's unfuck-upable, he says 2 years before it happens.
It's the cover of a metal album.
Oh, definitely.
I hope they include the bit where, so like when Daemon is at Harrenhal waiting for Aemond to come, Daemon slashes the weirwood at Harrenhal with his sword and leaves like a red bloody gash in the weirwood trunk. And the scars in the weirwood can still be seen today, 170 years later. Like, I hope that they include that because they did already show us that weirwood bleeding sap in season 2. So it would
George
make
R. R.
sense
Martin
to continue
tree.
that. Yeah.
Don't cut the George tree.
Yeah, that would be sad.
All right, Orwell, time for your execution.
Well, the funny thing, like spoiler zone, but the funny thing with Orwell is that he does get continually threatened with execution. Like in the book lore, he survives and he does get condemned to death, but they just like leave him alive on death row for like years because he's like kind of useful and like people like him. And then he like escapes and becomes like a...
Oh yeah, right, shit.
He becomes a literacy teacher for sex workers called Old Will. So like Orwell has one of my favorite like futures in the books.
Yeah, I think they've set that up pretty damn well. That he's like, okay, we can't keep this guy in power because of, politic reasons.
Yeah.
But also, like, he's been cool. Let's not kill him.
Yeah, I love
he hasn't
that
hurt anyone.
for him.
Yeah, and he teaches sex workers to read. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love the idea that there's one guy who's like actually kind of a cool guy. Everyone's just like, yeah, he's too cool for us to kill. Like he's we who can blame him?
Yeah, when he says to Daemon in this episode, look, man, I'm not a soldier. I just didn't want to die. Daemon's like, look, I don't want to kill you because you're a maester. It's cool.
Yeah. The other character who has a fascinating future is Tywin Lannister, who becomes like Hand of the King in the Regency. And Rhaenyra tortures Tywin and cuts off his ears and his penis and some of his fingers. And he's like this... and his eyes.
Yeah, that was... Are you going to mention his eyes?
She puts out his eyes. And he becomes like the blind hooded hand. And he actually does a really good job of trying to hold the realm together. And so I really hope that they haven't killed Tywin in the show.
Yeah, me too. I would be very disappointed.
And I know it's probably irrelevant because the show won't continue to the point where Tywin is relevant again. So I guess it does make sense to kill off Tywin in the show.
But to end it with like Jefferson Hall with his eyes CG'd out and he's like crooked and hooded.
But I don't think show Rhaenyra is going to put out Tywin's eyes because I don't think they're making Rhaenyra that evil in the show. It might be like Daemon who does it or Mysaria who does it.
Yeah, they could put it on someone else.
Yeah.
Oh, Vhagar's gonna eat us.
Yeah, I love Hugh's face of fear when Daemon says Vhagar. Last episode, Hugh said, "Oh, I don't want to fight Vhagar. Vhagar's killed 2 dragons already." So that look of fear, I mean, this is spoiler zone, but like that takes us directly to the betrayal, where
Yeah.
Hugh and Ulf betray Rhaenyra.
I think they're setting it up really well.
I agree. I think they're doing a fantastic job, because it's partly because of Daemon's intimidation. It's also because of the Blacks' refusal to give material wealth and status and support to Hugh and Ulf. But it's also because Ulf is afraid to make Kat a widow because he flies against the most dangerous dinosaur in this world. Like, of course he doesn't want to have to fight Vhagar, so of course he chooses to betray them.
And Daemon is unearthing Ulf's childhood trauma.
Yeah. And of course Daemon and Rhaenyra are doing a bad job of like winning over Hugh and Ulf, because Rhaenyra is an emotional wreck from the death of Jace and Luke, and Daemon is Daemon. So of course they're not making friends. It all makes sense.
I think if Rhaenyra has sex with Alicent, Aemon will
just turn inside out.
Vhagar, we need to melt Harrenhal again.
Yeah, this is why Aemon is going to decide to die in the God's Eye, is because he sees his mum having sex with Rhaenyra.
My God.
And Sylvie.
And Mysaria. And Gerald Royce.
Spoiler zone. Like, Alice in the books claims to be pregnant by Aemond and talks about there's a dragon in my belly. So, like, Alice cares about dragon blood. She cares about Targaryen blood. And her cousins, Jace, Luke, and Joff, have Targaryen blood. So she's got to feel some kind of way about their deaths.
Yeah, good point.
I'm just increasingly feeling like Harold Westerling is the shepherd, and it's going to be hilarious. I think you called that.
I did, but then I changed my mind and said that he's Garibald the Grey. But I don't think House of the Dragon is making time for Garibald the Grey.
No, they're not including Lord Biggleston either.
Yeah, so what's even the fucking point?
I'm fucking fuming. I'm cancelling my HBO subscription over Lord Biggleston being cut.
I'm deleting my YouTube channel.
Where's Red Rob Rivers, huh? I'm writing a stern letter to David Zaslav.
People, that's real.
We were so hot set on the idea that Otto would kill Ulf, taking on the role that Hobart plays in the books, poisoning Ulf and heroically sacrificing himself. And I think that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
The rat catchers.
Well, look at the rat Daemon's court.
Spoiler zone. That's what I want to happen before the storming of the Dragon Pit, is I want the common people to say, hey, it was really fucked up when the Targaryens, the kings, they killed 99 innocent rat catchers. I was their family. That sucks. And I want them to also say, hey, it really sucked when Rhaenys and Meleys killed hundreds of innocent people at Aegon's crowning. That really sucks. Let's not do that again. And I want
Rhaenyra to be like, I didn't do either of those things.
Yeah, but the peasants are like, you're all blonde idiots.
Yeah, it's all the same.
You're all the same
to
us.
Dragging cunts.
Yeah, I want to finally get some acknowledgement of the Rhaenys thing, as well as more on the rat catchers.
You also stop funding our underground child fighting rings.
Yeah, I hope someone's pissed off that the fighting bits are closed. That'd be hilarious.
I don't think Rhaenyra is going to close the fighting bits.
Well, Mysaria will ask Rhaenyra to close the fighting bits.
All right, that was your extra long spoiler zone. Now here's the weird shit that we put at the end of the video for some reason. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Made a lot of dragon noises last time. I think we should make raven noises this time. Corn. Snow. Arion, the incest Pokemon.
Which types are effective against incest type? Probably normal. It's the only thing that normal is super effective against is incest type Pokemon. I like that John Adobe teaches us different languages every time we
I would recognize these words anywhere.
Gladys did the Foley for the dragons this season.
Fuckers didn't pay me.
We've really got to talk to the Dragon Union, huh?
I'm pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good at that.
Is it not true that your mother was a lizard?
How dare you? My mother was a tortoise.
Oh.
We're back at the gullet.
I was eating chocolate. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was eating chocolate. I'm sorry. Wait, what? Isaac Hempstead, right?
Yeah. He's a neuroscientist.
What?
Yeah.
As of when?
Since Game of Thrones.
After Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
Bran Stark became a neuroscientist.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
He's written a paper on ocular motor changes in progressive supranuclear palsy.
Wow. You see, I would have done that, but I was busy.
Busy making dragon.